Ladies and gentlemen and in-betweeners, I'm your host, Alexander Rodriguez, here with On the Rocks radio show, where celebrities and cocktails mix tonight. Tonight, we celebrate all things TV with personalities from your favorite news shows, actor and athlete Michael Evans Behling from CW's All-American. We have Broadway baby Emma Hunton from Rent, Next to Normal, Wicked, and co-star in the upcoming The Foster spinoff, Good Trouble. She has been bad trouble, though, I have to tell you tonight. We have writer, director, and producer Bredeweg from The Fosters, the new Moulin Rouge musical heading to Broadway, Edward Scissorhands musical, Sideshow, and the list goes on and on and on, but I like to save trees, and I didn't want to print out all of his credits. And we also have my guest co-host, On the Rocks favorite, Kurt Yaeger here from NCIS LA, Sons of Anarchy, and CBS's Tell Me a Story that just got renewed today for season 2. Oh, so much talent in one room, and vodka. And your favorite host with the deepest voice. So raise a glass and let the games begin. Yeah.
And most poor suckers are starving to death.
I'd like to propose a toast.
This is On the Rocks with Alexander, coming at you from Sunset Gower Studios in the heart of Hollywood, where I drink with your favorite celebrities and we talk about fashion, entertainment, pop culture, reality TV, and that's about it. So pop a cork, pour a glass, lean back, and enjoy On the Rocks every Tuesday at 7 p.m. on Universal Broadcasting Network.
Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy.
Oh my lord, we're already doing second refills here on The Rocks.
Emma,
you start the
Emma
show
is
off
already
asking
doing
for a
second
refill.
Oh, you guys, buns and bows and pantyhose, the show where we're too glam to give a damn, obviously. I wanted to lose 10 pounds before New Year's Eve, and I'm so excited to tell you I'm 20 pounds away from that. Wah, wah. So, you know, everybody loves Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and it's the holiday season. This is a song that teaches kids that if you're different, people will hate you until they need something from you.
Wait, really?
That's literally what the song's about.
That
It's
is very
like,
true.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to go.
Would you lead my sleigh, little Rudolph?
yeah, until one day we need you to lead the sleigh so I can do my job. Now you're a star? No, bitch, he was a star. Sorry. No, people.
Wait, can we curse on here or no?
Yes, you can, but it's $10 per F word.
Oh.
Yeah. $10.
Right.
I need your debit card so I can just start sliding them.
Oh my God,
Of course,
absolutely.
if you watch Tell Me a Story, there's like 4 F words in the first
I know,
scene.
I'm
and they're all from
surprised.
Kim Cattrall
Yeah.
when she
Wow.
saw her costumer. No, because she looks so down to earth. She's not.
Yeah.
She's not Samantha at all.
No, not at all.
No. In fact, she plays a grandma, and I'm like, Kim Cattrall's playing a grandma.
plays
What
a
is
grandma?
happening? Yeah,
Yeah.
She admits it.
but she's still a
Yeah.
sexy grandma. But you know how they say she's a grandma? Because she wears glasses.
No way.
No.
Yes. You guys are such a good show. Anyway, we're gonna talk all about it.
Has Sarah Jessica come to visit?
I'll tell you another story. That's season 2 of Tell Me a Story. Wah, wah. Thank you to our sober listeners for tuning in. We love you. Thank you for holding our hair back and driving us home. Drunk texting, Michael, is literally the only sport I'm good at.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, so
okay.
we're both athletes in different ways.
Are you pro?
Oh, no.
I'm an Olympian.
He's an Olympian.
Hello to our listeners around the nation on iHeartRadio, Universal Broadcasting Network, Player FM, Stitcher, TuneIn, Satchel, iTunes, Google Play, and Spotify. Of course, we are on Facebook Live right now, on the Trendy Now app in San Diego, True FM in Ohio. You were born in Columbus, right, Michael?
I was. Yes, I was.
Hi, Ohio.
What's up,
We
C-Bus?
got a native here.
OHIO.
I almost said that.
Sorry.
Did you?
Not at all.
My fault. OHIO.
Yes.
OHIO.
And we're on Facebook
like it.
Live nationally on Universal Broadcasting Network and Bear World Magazine. Check out my weekly Bear World interviews, movie news, and celebrity interviews. This week, I reported...
I like that. I like that.
You guys have no clue what Bear World Magazine is. I wouldn't be so
No,
excited.
I
I do.
I
Is it
do.
in
Yeah.
Good Bears?
You know I do.
I do.
It's big
Yeah.
men.
Yeah.
who
You would be like a wolf.
Oh.
Yeah.
would be
I'm
wolf.
like a wolf.
He would be like an
Probably
otter
a-
wolf?
an
A
otter.
water?
He's an otter. He's an
water.
otter.
An
He's an
otter.
otter right now. A water?
Like your otter, add acid to water. Remember
Yeah.
that?
Is he an otter? Don't you have to have a little hair to be an otter?
Yeah, he's not.
Oh, she's saying.
Pre-otter?
Yeah, I think.
Pre-otter, yeah.
But
I see.
prepubescent
20
otter.
years, yes.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Anyway, but this week I reported biopics are all the rage right now with Bohemian Rhapsody, Rocket Man is coming out, and
Whoa.
one has been greenlit, a biopic about David Bowie. Now, in our age of gender fluid casting, I want Tilda Swinton to play.
Oh,
David
my
Bowie.
that's
God,
a brilliant
that would be amazing.
idea.
I
But
saw
she's done a
Emma's.
whole photo shoot as David Bowie. Like she's got photos of
That's
her.
where I got the idea, to be honest.
But she's amazing.
I'm not so original.
My dog's name is Bowie.
Yeah,
I'm obsessed with
I
Bowie.
seen
Are you
your
really?
Instagram.
I'm
She has a thing where you have the lightning bolt across your
I think
face.
I've been David Bowie like 3 times for Halloween. Like
Yeah.
I am obsessed.
Wow.
Really?
So
David
Emma
Bowie.
should play David.
Emma should play
Yeah,
David.
Why
Bowie.
not?
Yeah.
My boobs are
Yes.
way
Why
too
not?
big, but bless you. I'll be a groupie in like scene 4, act 3.
You
They
can play
can
Bowie and I'll
digitally
play
remove
Emma.
them, Emma.
Yes.
We could do anything.
We literally, in this day and age, we literally
We could
can.
do anything. these
But
days.
they're also doing Labyrinth 2, and it's a direct sequel.
What?
Number one, Jennifer Connelly is an A-lister, and Bowie is
Dead.
dead.
Maybe my dog is gonna be
Yes.
David Bowie in the sequel.
I hope it's not a direct-to-DVD, because I don't ruin it. Also, Henry Cavill is not leaving his role as Superman. Thank you, baby
Thank
Jesus.
God.
Yes.
The hottest man on the planet.
He's
My
so
God.
sexy.
Because he's so nice, and he's
Yeah.
such a good actor on top of everything else.
Right.
We love hot men that can act. Right, Michael?
Yes, maybe.
God,
I mean,
Mission,
not that you
Mission
love them, but
Impossible.
like you are one. Yes.
When he did
seen
that
it.
thing in a Mission Impossible, I
Yes.
was like, wow.
What thing? What thing is this? I didn't
Anything
see
in
it.
Mission
A shot
Impossible.
gun,
Honestly,
like with his arm.
I haven't seen
yeah.
one
Shot-
Mission
I-
Impossible.
You should
movie.
see
right
the
there
last
with you.
one.
I haven't
If
seen
you're
any
going
of
to see
them.
one,
I'm
the
right
rest
there
of them
with
are
you.
like,
Yeah.
I feel like that's blasphemy, but like I also like as an actor, I haven't seen a lot of movies. Like people have been like, "Have you seen blah
because
blah?"
we're
blah.
so
I'm like,
busy.
no,
We're all so busy. Like, who has time to do all this?
I don't. I sleep when I can.
Retweet.
Right?
Retweet,
It's like-
retweet.
A lot of sleep.
Well, and it's funny because we all have friends in the industry, and we all know that they're in shows. We're like, I love your show, and you're like, I didn't see any of it. They're like, did you like that part? And you're like, don't ask.
No.
no, I don't. I
Well,
don't, I
there's
don't know.
12,000 shows on television now,
Yes.
so it's
There-
like, how do you keep
That
up?
is
You
true.
keep up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like and like all different streaming services.
Yeah.
It's like I can't.
But you don't, like, you really don't. But in final Bear World movie news, Cats the Musical has started filming. This cast has Taylor Swift, Jennifer Hudson, Ian McKellen, Rebel Wilson, Judi Dench, Idris Elba, and James Corden.
Can't wait.
I'm just gonna drink.
I
my
was going to
drink.
ask, do we need Cats the Musical? Let's ask the straight men and let's ask the gay men.
I like
Basically.
cats.
I too.
Do you
like,
even know what Cats the Musical is?
No,
I've never seen
never
it.
seen it.
Oh my
Spoiler
God, you
alert!
guys.
It is a musical.
What is
About
a musical?
What are they?
Yeah. No, Cats used to be the longest running musical on Broadway. You guys literally don't know Cats.
That's a really good purr. That is
Ooh, that is
a
a
really
good
good
purr.
purr.
I've heard him purr
That's
after 4
basically
vodkas.
what the music sounds like, too.
Yes.
Except for that one song.
Has Taylor Swift acted in anything
Memory.
before?
She's been in a movie, right?
No.
Yes, she
Other than
has. She
music
was in
videos?
that Valentine's Day movie.
Oh, yes.
with everyone
Oh.
else.
She was Taylor Lautner's girlfriend.
I
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah.
I didn't see that
I think
movie
she's
as
an actor,
well.
But it's mostly, well, this is the musical. It's mostly all singing. It's like an operetta, kind of.
It's
So
here's the
what
thing.
it's about? An alley
Cats
cat?
is great, and Cats is about all the different, like all the
T.S.
things
Eliot.
that happens when cats are basically away from like their owners or like street cats or whatever. There's different sort of like versions of. There's all
Right,
different
right,
kinds
right.
of cats,
Is there a
just like
lesson?
there's all different kinds of people.
I'm going to
Okay,
say it's
okay.
probably going to make a better movie than it does.
I think
on
because
Yeah,
they'll
yeah.
have
Yeah.
to sort of the thing is like the thing I love about musical theater is that it can be very vague and abstract, and you can sort of take what you want
Yeah,
from it and
yeah.
sort of adapt your own story to it. But Cats is very literal, and I think that's why a movie will
Yeah.
help with it, because there is something that's very wonderful about seeing these people dressed in these costumes with this makeup,
Right.
dancing around and embodying cats. But also, like you're watching a
So
musical about
when the
cats.
owners are away, the cats will play kind
But
of a
it's
thing.
not being, but it's
Kinda,
not
yeah.
CGI.
Kinda like Toy
They're
Story.
going to
It's
be.
not. It's not CGI. They're
Yeah.
going to be like they're going to be done. And I think there's
Exactly.
something about the magic
Exactly
of
like
like
Toy
music
Story, yeah.
movie making that could be cool. But
You
we'll
can't
see.
talk musicals with straight men. You just
really
can't.
You just
can't.
can't.
I know. If you guys want to step out for like 5 minutes, we'll call you back
Hey,
in.
let's go ahead.
Yeah.
Take-
It's like this could be the whole show.
I just don't think we need Cats the musical.
I
I'm
know.
not even looking over here anymore.
I think this is going to be blasphemy. I think a lot of musical theater people are going to be
Yeah.
mad at me when I say that I agree with you.
The worst thing is that
I'm going to hate watch it, probably.
Yes, I'm gonna
Yeah.
hate watch it. Just
Yeah.
like
Like I did Phantom
No
of the
offense
Opera.
to your co-star in Tell Me a Story, Billy Magnuson, Into the
Yeah.
Woods. I wanted to commit suicide all
Oh, I
during
loved
that.
It is my-
I loved Into the Woods.
Oh, we have to break up.
Oh no.
Rats.
But
Until
also, this
moment.
was the
We got
first
saved.
time I'd ever seen Into the Woods.
Oh, see, it's my favorite. It's my favorite musical of all time.
Oh, I'd never heard it or seen it. See, guys, I'm a
that makes
bad
sense.
actor.
Yeah.
Casting agents, did you hear that?
I don't know. I say all the time,
her
I don't know
headshot
anything
is
about
10
musical
years old.
theater. I just do it for a living. I don't know.
Did you hear that?
I-
That was some shade from the man.
That was some shade.
Yes.
I'm sorry. What theater do you know?
Oh,
Sorry, this
we are
broke
gonna
up.
talk
Kurt, I
credits.
can't hear.
We're going to talk credits. Anyway, I just don't think we need Cats the Musical because... for all of our audio listeners, you can check out our video stream on Facebook, YouTube channel, and of course the Now Trending app, which all of our On The Rocks video is streaming for free. Download that app on iPhone and Android today. My mom, Mama Rose, is in the chat room on ubngo.com and Facebook. Ask her your questions. She'll answer it. She's done the research. She has watched all the shows, so she'll answer you in the chat room. If it's a burning question, she'll text me and we'll ask her right here on the air. Please keep her busy. She's next to the vodka, and she's drunk Christmas decorating. The last wreath she decorated was boycotted by Hobby Lobby.
Drunk Christmas decorating.
Are you serious?
What?
Yes, Bradley. I'm
don't
so
know.
serious.
I never know with
boycotted
you.
everything,
I was like, she
though.
sounds epic.
Yeah, hello to our engineer, Kurt.
Hi,
Kurt.
Kurt.
Kurt Carlson.
What's up, Kurt?
How are you?
How's it going?
Kurt.
Happy holidays. You're
Happy
dressed
holidays
so
to you.
festive.
Yeah, you know.
Wait, are we getting a pun?
Yes, this is his spotlight. Go ahead,
Yes. Kurt, I would like to hear a pun.
Kurt. Hurry it up. We have like an actual writer in the room.
All right. Well, it's a Christmas theme one.
Oh,
this, year,
how fun.
this time. So,
God.
what is a dinosaur's least favorite reindeer?
Least favorite
Comet.
reindeer.
Yeah.
Science.
We see each other. When they're really bad puns is when I get it. So that must
Yeah.
have been really bad.
That's
Kurt,
cute.
I actually found
I
one
like
for
that
you.
one.
Somebody posted it to me from our fan base, and I wanted to delete them. What does a clock do when it gets hungry?
I mean, I've heard this one before. But go ahead.
It goes back for seconds.
Oh, okay.
Hey.
I'm sorry, you guys. I didn't want it to be this way.
That sounds very time consuming.
Oh my God!
wow.
Yeah, so what up?
Hey.
Where's your show, Kurt? Podcast with Kurt. Happy holidays, Kurt. No, you do not give yourself last.
Yay, cheers.
Yes. Like us on Twitter and Instagram at On The Rocks On Air. Facebook, if you're still on Facebook, keep it alive. On The Rocks Radio Show. Like I said, YouTube. Find us on the web, ontherocksradioshow.com. All of the links for all of our audio or video, if you want to watch us, is there. Send me an email. Book me for a wedding, funeral, quinceañera, bris. I don't care. I will be there.
Funeral.
Info at On The Rocks Radio Show. I put the fun back in funeral. Info at On The Rocks Radio Show. Real fast, my new national TV talk show, Glitter Bomb, is currently broadcasting to over 22 million homes. We were covered in People Magazine, listed as one of the must-watch shows on New Now Next. Of course, we weren't #1 show by Forbes Magazine like Good Trouble was.
Next year.
Next year. Featuring me and my co-host with some of your favorite stars from film, TV, music, and reality TV. Tune in every Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You know the drill, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Go to latv.com/schedule to find out what channel we are in your city, because we're on a different channel in every city. Get it together, people.
This is why I call you Gay Oprah.
Yep. I wish I had any Oprah's paycheck, or even a Gale. I don't even have a Gale. Hashtag single forever. Okay. While we are broadcasting...
Poor Kurt.
Yeah. Kurt,
Isn't that your Gale right here? No?
no, we're not intimate.
Oh.
I'm gonna.
I'm kidding, allegedly. Okay.
Slurp.
Anyway, while we were broadcasting on national TV, some of you who don't have cable, which I totally understand, say, I can't watch your show. Well, we are now releasing episodes, the best of Glitter Bomb, on Facebook Watch, so it's for free. So go to Glitter Bomb TV on Facebook and click Facebook Watch, and you're going to see we have a few episodes there. Kurt, show us who is on Glitter Bomb this Thursday.
This week on Glitter Bomb.
We have reality TV star and celebrity fitness trader Craig Ramsey.
He's gonna be stretching us out. You don't want to miss that.
Are you watching?
It's a bossy routine now.
Exactly. And take your hands down.
Actress and former Miss USA, Susie Castillo.
She's getting her shoes. Get the shoes. Yeah, look at this.
It's the shoe count.
Yes. Word. So until then, keep calm and glitter bomb. Fabulous. So make sure you watch that on Thursday or click us on Facebook Watch. This Saturday, I am MC for a fundraiser for the firefighters, their families, and the victims of the California fires at the Eagle in Long Beach. Performances, giveaways, and my award-winning audience participation, all for a good cause, starts at 9 p.m. Also, this New Year's Eve, take a trip down to San Diego. I'm partnering with Now Trending app at Flicks Nightclub in San Diego. I guess it's a big, huge nightclub where I'll be counting down the top music videos from 2017 with booze and a hangover. But they're doing, like, you get to dance next to the music video.
Combo.
2017? Why
Ooh, sounds like Palm
2017?
Springs.
That's like 2 years ago.
Oh, 2000.
Basically. 2018, ladies and gentlemen.
I've been in a hangover since 2017. That's why.
I was like, that's interesting.
Yes.
That's what it
Thanks
is.
for.
Yeah.
Well,
No,
I didn't
no one
editor.
remembers last year's this
Yeah.
year.
I didn't even know they still.
Yes, Kurt.
I didn't even know people were still doing music videos. By the way. Anyway, okay. Anyway, go to Now Trending Now for more information. Let me formally introduce my bestie for the night. My co-host, Kurt Yaeger, is widely recognized as his character Greg the Peg on the hit series Sons of Anarchy. CBS All Access brought Kurt into the new series Tell Me a Story right after starring in the UK hit comedy The Festival. He's currently filming The Village on NBC, which comes out early 2019. He's producing the animated series The Dragons of Melkor. Is there like a fancy dragon?
I can make one.
Yes, can we
You
do
could be
it?
the voice. Absolutely.
No, I want to be the dragon. Of course I want to be the voice.
yes.
I like to work in pajamas. And in production of a web series called Tommy and Bobby. Tommy and Bobby is a show about two brothers who drink beer in the mom's basement in Boston, which comes out on YouTube in March 2019. I think they need a gay cousin who comes over to drink martinis.
The cameraman's gay. Do you want to be the cameraman?
In the script? Yeah,
Yeah.
not technical, but yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Do you like how I just put myself in all these roles?
Okay.
Yes. I'm going to be in the Good Trouble spin-off. It's going to be like Weird Uncle Alexander.
Hello, children.
Sold. I'll watch it.
Kurt is also known for his roles in Quarry, Pure Genius, NCIS LA, where he saved NCIS LA that year for their ratings. His story arc, it's a true story. They even wrote an article about it. The ratings were saved for was it a 6-episode arc?
Yeah.
Where Kurt the Nice Guy was not so Kurt the Nice Guy and saved NCIS LA, and it was so much fun.
I went very
watch
dark.
it.
I went
Yes.
very dark.
Yeah. He was also featured in Shooter and Shameless. Kurt is a highly respected member of the SAG-AFTRA committee, Performers with Disabilities, and advocates for the inclusion of actors with disabilities in roles not specified for disabled characters. Kurt is an amputee actor and speaks with network executives, showrunners, writers, and casting on ways to increase inclusion through understanding and insight. Thank you. Kurt's also...
Okay. All right.
Yes, and this is what I love about Kurt. He's a true Renaissance man. He's also a former professional X Games athlete. Years after losing his leg in a horrible accident, he came back, was the first amputee in the X Games, and the first and only amputee to successfully pull a backflip and still rides to this day.
Shit balls, man. Okay.
And, because he's an underachiever in 2016.
Here we go.
You guys, he ran up the entire Empire State Building, 86 floors, in 20 minutes and 19 seconds.
Bruh,
I
shut the
can't
hell
even
up.
run up 4 flights of
Bruh.
stairs.
It was hard.
Did you
It
throw
was-
up afterwards?
No, it was a lung buster. I wanted to.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a time like you're going up and you get to like the 30th floor and then you're like
Yeah.
start seeing like bubbles in sight.
Oh,
You
no,
realize
no, no,
there's
no.
not
20
enough
minutes?
oxygen. Yeah.
How many miles is that?
I have no idea how many 86 stories.
That's
it is.
crazy. And this was for the Challenged Athletes Foundation.
Yeah, Challenge Athletes Foundation, which brings in a bunch of equipment and support for people who've become disabled who still want to like compete and be athletic and stay healthy.
Well, and besides all of that, he's been the host of the BMW GS Trophy Challenge for several years, riding motorcycles off-road in Thailand, Madagascar, the Canadian Rockies, South Africa, Botswana, Zambia,
Zambia.
Zimbabwe, Europe, and the United States. And because he didn't write this in his own bio, but I know this. He's a real-life superhero. Taking it upon himself, he and a motorcycle group hit Puerto Rico for an intense trip of aiding victims, which we have pictures of, who had no water and power and where no regular vehicles could travel to. So he and how many people?
Total that we
Yeah.
got to is about 1,000.
Yeah.
That's so
And
cool.
You're
this
just a
is
really good person.
what he did.
You're a badass.
Yeah.
He
He's
also-
making me sound better.
No, but
really,
it's actually
good.
true. And he also helped save his neighbors' houses during the Sherman Oaks fires, like literally out there with a hose when he should have been not. And he's my own
Yeah.
personal hero as an LGBT ally. We had quite the time in New York during Fashion Week.
Yes, we did.
Do tell.
Oh, I can't tell. This is live.
Damn.
No. We had a lot of fun. So tell me a story, which
Yes.
I caught up on all the episodes because there's 3 more episodes left, right?
Yes.
It is such a dark, sexy, and violent show. It's with Kim Cattrall, Billy Magnuson.
And I love Billy. He's
Well,
great.
We all love Billy. He's a
Billy's
great actor. He
fantastic.
was in Into the Woods. He played the blonde
I know
prince.
he's my friend Megan's boyfriend. He's a very sweet person.
He's
Lucky
great.
Megan.
Great.
Very sweet guy.
Super great.
Lucky Megan.
Lucky Megan.
Lucky Megan.
She's a very, very sweet girl. Lucky Billy.
Lucky
God.
Billy.
Okay.
Yes.
We're so yes.
Yes.
And.
Yes,
Improv. How did you become part of this project? Because I know you've done a lot of network guest stars. And this is you did Quarry. For Cinemax, which I love that show.
Yeah.
I think it was a little too intense for most people.
It was really dark. I mean, I think that kind of a show like made people like go, wait, I don't know what I'm watching on Cinemax because there's more HBO and it didn't have the scope. But I mean, Greg Utanis was great show running that. But I mean, it's just so visceral. It's about 1970s contract killers, and like it's just brutal and like slow, but like living in it and like tasting. Yeah, you see, you have to see it. It's so good.
Well, Tell Me a Story is equally.
It's amazing.
It's visceral. It's
very
guttural.
sexy.
It's really dark.
It's very sexy.
Yeah, all the
everyone's
actors,
naked.
Everybody's in their underwear except you haven't appeared in
I
your
know.
underwear. Is that episode 10?
I can't disclose that. I do some other stuff in 8, 9.
This is on CBS All Access, right?
Yeah.
What's with the pig faces? I want to know what that is.
They're like kind of a ploy about, Three Little Pigs, and then they're like villains that go around and do things, do crimes, but they're covering it dressed as
it's
the
like a
Three
modern
Little
day
Pigs.
fairy tale. There's like the wolf character. You guys, it's so
No. It's really good. I mean, like we got to see the first and second episode first, and the first one's good. Getting thrown all these people, and if you wait until the second episode, then it just takes off.
All clicks.
It really takes off, and like I was really enjoying it. And I think it's one of the best opening sequences I've ever seen.
It is one of the most beautiful opening sequences. I know, like we all know, TV shows backwards and forwards. I know 6 Feet Under kind of inspired the end of Foster's, so we know about montages. But this opening is so beautiful, and you do get so wrapped in these characters that the violence and the sexiness just builds everything up. It's a binge watch for sure. And like I said, there's 3 episodes left. How did you get the audition for it?
Yeah, it's just audition like normal. Just went out, read for it, and I've done a lot of shows on CBS, so I think they were like, okay, he's him.
Yeah.
But Kevin Williamson, writes brilliantly and everything, and I think that just playing something authentic, because the character is actually an amputee, so they wanted to cast authentically as well. So they looked for people both who were amputees and non-amputees and said, okay, let's see who's the best. And I'm a big advocate for finding the right actor but auditioning everybody, as opposed to being like, oh, we'll audition these people and assume a wheelchair user can't do something. Yeah, which a lot of the time happens, but I think they did a good job by bringing everyone in.
Well, it's kind of an open topic. Bradley, you and the Fosters, and now with Good Trouble and All American, it's talking about inclusivity and how different groups, you can't just label people anymore because that's not what America is. But when we talk about inclusivity in Hollywood, it's such a hot button, and it's like the popular hot button. Like, to be cool, it's like, I want my cast to be inclusive. Well, there's checking boxes off to make your cast inclusive, and there's true inclusivity. But then there's also the difference of what is inclusive for me in terms of the LGBT and trans community is different than what's inclusive to you in terms of the actors with disabilities.
Yeah.
Such as Welcome to Warwin. It's the new movie with Steve Carell, and it's got all the Golden Globe nominations.
Yeah, I just saw that actually today.
So the lead actress, I forget her name, she was in Hidden Figures,
gorgeous
actress. She plays a single leg amputee, and it was done by CGI.
Yeah.
There was no big controversy saying, well, a single amputee should have played that role. When Scarlett Johansson tried to do a role for the trans community, the whole trans community was so upset. I know it's not apples to apples, but when we're talking about inclusivity, how is that a different take? Like, when we're talking about LGBT and trans, actors have to play LGBT characters.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the thing about disabilities right now is it's just behind in terms of like its exposure of, like having people with disabilities actually playing characters with disabilities. But the big problem is that actors who have disabilities aren't playing characters that don't have disabilities. So they're not going out right now. Like, if you're in a wheelchair, you're not going out for an able-bodied role.
Got it.
You know what I mean? So there's like a disparity between that kind of a process. So, there's 20% of the population has some form of disability. That's 57 million Americans. On television, less than 2% of characters have a disability. And then of those 2%, only 0.5% are played by disabled actors. So, like, the numbers are so low, and it's not even like, you can only play that, because I don't believe, I think, honestly, that every actor should have a chance to play that role. I don't care black, white, straight, gay, whatever. It's an irrelevancy. But when you don't have the opportunity to audition, then that's where there's a big gap in that number, and I think that's where it actually comes from. Now, we're all busy, right, and we all can't think of every single other person's type of personality or disposition or whatever else and figure it out. So it's about, first of all, like, having grace and being like, okay, first, I know I can't know everything. So what can you teach me? You know what I mean? Like take that as the first thing. Be like, okay, I know what I know. Like, if they had like a grace advisor, You know what I mean? Like someone comes and goes, "Have you thought about?" like it just means like, someone who has that job, so you can do your job fast paced and do what you need to do.
Well, that's the problem is that the entertainment industry is still a business, and so we need big names to sell tickets, to make more money, to fund more. And it's just like, well, how moral do we want to be, and
I've
how
heard that,
right
though.
do we want to be?
Like I've heard that
we
you
need to
have to
make
have
money.
big names, but Harold Russell was a double amputee, you know, and he was the only person to win 2 Oscars for the same role. And then you have different people. I mean, the guy who was from Africa who was in Captain Phillips, like he was a nobody who came out of something. So you don't have to have just a name in every single role. Right, you know what I mean. You can like mix it up and play.
I don't
with
think
it.
there are movie stars anymore. I'm just gonna say it. I really believe that. I think if you make noise and if you make a good project, people will find it and see it. So I think inclusivity is more important than ever. You have to try very hard to pound the pavement and find the right actor to play that role. And I think that's the conversation right now.
Well, it's funny because when you started The Fosters, it started like this snowball that has hit, I think, every other show on network TV, that you were telling stories about humans, and it wasn't like, we're doing this campaign for just this, and we're going to hit you over the head with this. You were telling family stories, and that was what was going on. Of course, you had one of your producers, of course, Jennifer Lopez, who's going to say no to that. But what I think that really inspired was a lot of changes in network TV, and now we have, Good Trouble coming along.
Yeah.
And so inclusivity is actually inclusive. It's not a campaign just for a campaign's sake, or to say we're inclusive. It's more than that.
Yeah, and it's authentic inclusivity.
Yeah.
Because that's what makes
authenticity is more important than inclusivity.
Yeah,
I think.
Well, and don't you know from musical theater? Don't we know when there's a musical theater actor that's not authentic? We could read you from across the room.
But I also think if you're authentic, inclusivity will just naturally follow suit. I think like it's completely irresponsible to say that my life in general doesn't include people's stories from all different walks of life and all different backgrounds of all different colors and religious denominations or whatever. So I think it's very ignorant to say, like, if you're being authentic and it doesn't include a lot of different kinds of different stories, then you have a very, very sad, boring life. No offense.
Damn. But to Kurt's point, to have somebody just put in your ear, hey, this is what might be going on outside of your bubble, could be that, because I know people that still have never met a trans person.
Yeah.
Or
there are parts of the world that just are not exposed to that kind of culture. But I think that's the thing, is like, I think as long as we're open to hearing those kinds of stories, we really discount ourselves and our fellow man if we're not willing to hear those kinds of stories or bring along a sort of authenticity of someone who's lived those experiences to play them.
But sometimes it is that we're talking to executives who really don't have
don't know.
And they're like, cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. That's all they're seeing. And it's
true.
like, you guys are trying to tell a story. You guys are actually trying to do...
But that's our job
Yeah.
to push them, push them beyond their boundaries of comfort, And I think if you really are adamant and are trying to tell those kinds of stories, then you have to stand up for that community and say, hey, I'm not going to do this unless you hear me out, Mr. Executive.
Totally.
I really feel passionate about this right now, and I want to hire this actor or this actress or this person for this reason. And you fight for it, and you have to right now. You really do.
Michael, what kind of talks did you guys have about inclusivity on the set of All American? Because you guys deal with so many issues on that show.
Right. I mean, you've seen the show. You know the characters. Breezy's character, Coop, especially, going through what she's going through with, coming out and whatnot to her mom and whatnot. And we don't really necessarily talk about inclusivity within the whole cast itself. It's more or less just about every single character kind of has their own issue that they're dealing with.
And I love that because, like we said, it's a normal story.
It's real.
It's real for each person, too.
I think that's young Hollywood as compared to like where I came from. It's like, okay, we talk about inclusivity first and then the stories come later. You guys are just talking about stories.
Yeah.
I love that. That's where we're getting to.
It just kind of rolls into one another. You know what I'm saying? And the thing that I love about it the most is that it's real. It's just like real life. Like, I don't know what's going on in your life. You could be having some fucked up shit going on with you, pardon my language. Same with me.
20 bucks.
Sorry.
It is the holidays.
Drink every time someone curses.
Yeah.
Same for everybody in this whole world, but But that's the thing about that I love about All American is that we're kind of hitting these things of, you have no idea what these characters are going through until you kind of dive in and you get to understand their story.
Yeah.
And it's, every single day people get judged for, the way they look, the way they do, the things that they do. And you have no idea what they're doing or going through.
And that's what I love about All American. You even have like class issues, but what people are going through on either side of the tracks, so to speak.
Beverly Hills and Crenshaw. Yeah.
Family is stronger on one side than on the other, and it's like class doesn't have anything to do with your confidence, with your abilities, with your family relationships at all.
Yeah.
It just makes it look prettier.
It's beautiful to see. It's beautiful to see.
All right, let's get the show on the road, but I do want to take a look at Tell Me a Story trailer because there's 3 episodes left. You can watch it on CBS Access, and it's so easy to binge watch, and it's a super dark, sexy show. Look for our friend Kurt Yaeger. Let's take a look at what to expect from season 1 of Tell Me a Story.
Weesna.
Do we get to get married, have a family? But the world is no place for that anymore.
Everybody on the floor now!
You and your 3 friends robbed the jewelry store.
You got the wrong guy.
The world is angry. I have to do something.
Wait. It may rain later. I'll be okay.
Cops brought me in. I'm not going down for that.
You don't threaten me.
This is wrong.
I know.
My brother's gotten into some trouble.
Put my money. Let him go!
Maybe we'll get lucky.
We're not lucky people, Anna.
Crazy. I'm crazy for feeling.
Everything's a little upside down right now.
Why didn't you call for help?
I called you! This guy, he's stalking me.
You can't do this. You're not the vigilante type.
Something going on I don't know about?
That's a really good question that has a really bad answer.
Something's wrong. I will never go away.
They're gonna kill us both.
You're no wolf at all. You're just a sheep in wolf's clothing.
It's a comedy.
That seems like something you can't watch late at night alone.
No. Or if you have a special someone, then it's an opportunity to make friends.
Interesting way to put it.
But I have to
piggy?
say, yes,
All the way home.
That's my grinder name. No, but I have to say, what I love about the show, it's not careful with the characters; it's careful with the story. Meaning, you don't know what's going to happen. Every show is a cliffhanger, and
people
you
go.
Physically
People go.
Yell out loud. Yeah.
People go.
Nobody is safe. It's like Game of Thrones for CBS. Okay. Let me formally introduce our panel today. Michael Evans Behling, star in Heartthrob, on the rise. He hit TV screens this last fall in the CW's new show All American, which premiered, like I said, this fall. The mid-season finale just played. Was it this last week or it was
12th
last week? Yeah. Which I watched last night. Really good finale, by the way. Mid-season. The football drama also stars Taye Diggs and Daniel Ezra. Centers on a high school football player, Spencer Ezra, and it's taken from. It's based on a true story, by the way. A football player from South Central LA who's recruited to play for Beverly Hills High, and it deals with the wins, losses, and struggles of 2 families from 2 different worlds. Mr. Michael here portrays Jordan, number 1, the school's star quarterback and son of the coach, Taye Diggs, who must adjust to sharing his father's attention on the team spotlight. And we're talk about your scenes together because they're really, really intense.
Yeah.
Mirroring his on-screen persona, this Columbus, Ohio native was a star athlete growing up, eventually going on to run track at India State University. After 2 years at university, he left to pursue an acting career in Los Angeles, where he currently resides. Is it true that you spent the first months on an air mattress?
Bro, how did you know that? Yeah.
Oh, I do research. And did it break or something?
Yes, it did.
No,
yeah, I was just talking to my manager about that today. Actually.
You should really watch your carbs.
I know.
I feel like every actor in LA has that story scary though, because I was sleeping on an air mattress with my best friend, and it would deflate by 2 a.m.
Yeah.
So every 2 a.m. we'd have to blow it back up. Oh yeah, like find the duct tape. There was like 5 inches of duct tape. Never did
works.
anything.
Never works.
Never did anything.
I think that sends the people who don't have passion for the industry home because they cannot take it after
They
6
can't.
months.
You know what? That's the thing. It was sleep on a hardwood floor on a deflated mattress,
Or
go home.
And you don't want to go home.
I wasn't going home.
No.
God, I love it. Michael's move to LA led to appearances in multiple commercials for White Castle, Isotoners, Nike, and Finish Line. I love a White Castle. Before he was cast in All American. He's also had a guest role on Fox's hit show Empire as the handsome gentleman, by the way.
Yeah.
What?
That was fun.
That wasn't typecasting. Okay. Please welcome for Michael's first appearance on the Rocks. Welcome.
Thank you.
Also joining us is Emma Hunton. Has appeared in numerous Broadway shows and touring companies, including Elphaba in Wicked, Natalie in Next to Normal, roles in Spring Awakening, and Maureen in the off-Broadway revival of Rent. You know who's on our next show is Tracy Thoms.
Please tell her I say hello. I love her.
I will.
I just did a concert with her 2 weeks ago. I had to sing Wicked, and she had to sing. We sang for a charity event.
She's amazing.
The best.
She was, for listeners that don't know, she played Joanne in the movie Rent, and she was also Devil Wears Prada. Emma can currently be seen at Rockwell in Fuse Project's Scissorhands, a musical inspired by the film, which I am seeing on Sunday, and I cannot wait. We have some sneak footage that we're going to be looking at today on the show. She made her first appearance in scripted television in 1999 when she appeared in Angel, also known for her role in Happy Ending, and will be seen as Davia in the upcoming freeform show Good Trouble, airing January 8th. Again, Forbes magazine listed it as #1 anticipated show of this number one.
Guys, it's so good. I'm not just saying that because I'm in it. Like, it's really, really good.
Well,
it's a really good show.
And we're going to play one of the trailers. There's like 6 trailers out there, and each one tells, like, it's just a different engine. Like, I got to watch it all.
And that's only, like, a tiny, tiny fraction of, like, all the juicy tidbits we have in the show. Like, I watch it, and I'm like, ooh, that's not going to give away. Oh, no, they have no idea. No, it's okay.
Little fun fact, Emma holds the record of being the youngest Elphaba in an English language production of Wicked and second youngest in the world.
Yes.
What? And we're going to talk about that because that's phenomenal.
Nice.
And last but certainly not least, returning to the show is Bradley Bredeweg, is a partner in Blazing Elm Entertainment, is one of the creators, executive producers, and showrunners of the highly anticipated new television series, of course, Good Trouble, on Freeform and Hulu. The new series and pilot, directed by John Chu, who did Crazy Rich Asians, which I just saw this weekend, by the way, is a spin-off of the critically acclaimed Walt Disney Company Freeform series, The Fosters, in which Bredeweg, alongside executive producing partners Jennifer Lopez, Peter Page, and Joanna Johnson, achieved so many awards from GLAAD, the Emmys for Excellence in Television, the Television Critics Award, Teen Choice Awards, and Bradley directed 2 episodes in the first season of the upcoming spin-off, which I'm excited because your episodes, especially the Mother's Day episode of The Fosters, was unbelievable.
Thank you. Both episodes I directed on Good Trouble have the moms in it. So
nice.
I just do the moms now.
You guys, I'm crying before it's even on here.
Lovely.
It's not fair. Bredeweg also co-wrote Tut, starring Sir Ben Kingsley from Muse Entertainment, which premiered on Paramount, Viacom, Spike TV in the theater world because he doesn't have enough to do.
I know.
Bredeweg produced the critically acclaimed revival of Sideshow on Broadway, directed by Academy Award winner Bill Condon. He also produced the massively successful hit Green Day's American Idiot on London's West End, alongside Kate Pazakis, which we love Kate Pazakis, of course. She's one of the, Bradley, I'm so excited. Bradley is one of the major investors in the Broadway office smash hit Dear Evan Hansen at the Music Box Theater, as well as the new show coming to Broadway. And if I don't see this, I'll probably just stop the show and I'll work at something.
You're gonna die when you see this
Moulin
show.
Rouge, you guys, coming to Broadway in 2019.
Wow.
It already had its opening. Now, celebrities and all my friends flew because the soft opening was in Boston, right?
Boston, yeah.
Everybody went. Every celebrity took their selfie against. In fact, we have some of the pictures from the concept and from
so
the actual.
gorgeous.
It's the most gorgeous thing you've ever
It
seen.
looks like a digitally edited
No,
photo.
that
and
is-
that's what it
that's
looks
real.
like. And
That's
it's so
actually real.
perfect. It's so gorgeous.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So you guys, please welcome our cast for today's On the Rocks.
Hola.
All right, so youngins, I'm going to talk to you guys. So Emma, making the move from musicals, where of course you've had a successful career at, playing some really iconic roles, and I hate to use the word iconic, but that's what they are, and part of pop culture as well as Broadway history. then coming to a TV format where rehearsals are different, shooting is different, approaching a character is different,
Very
acting is
different.
different. You're not defying gravity, you're defying gravity.
Totally, 100%. I will say it's a mind fuck.
Yeah.
Hey, drink everybody.
Cheers.
$10.
I'm almost out, by the way.
Send it down here.
We got it. And Michael,
Send it down, Michael.
this is like your first
me that.
big role, and it's
Yes.
not a role with little heft.
No.
Like from episode 1, you have these scenes with Taye Diggs.
Yeah.
Your role has to be believable. It has to be on point. You guys, this being your first kind of... Everybody join in!
Oh my God.
Everybody
oh my God.
drinks.
Yeah. For this being your kind of first big chunk on television,
Sure.
being young, how does that play with your mind?
It's overwhelming for me.
It's overwhelming.
Yeah.
I mean, I here's the thing. I think in theater, because I've been doing it for so long, and there's this like sort of sacred traditions with musical theater. Everyone, it's always kind of there's this collective need to protect the children. I find myself doing it in theater too. When I work with kids, it's always like, okay, let's make it a positive experience for the kids. And in television, I've been working since I was a kid in television as well. And there's always been like, okay, you're an adult. You come on stage, they treat you like an adult. They expect you to act like an adult.
Or you're fired because there's 10 other kids that can take your place.
You can't be like an unruly kid. And I've always been like a really calm, collected kid. But
Is that true?
I've always been a big personality, but I've
Okay.
always been a very respectful, polite kid.
I like
My
that.
mom's watching and laughing so hard. So when I had gotten to this point of joining Good Trouble, I had done so much theater, fortunately enough, that I felt very comfortable.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel challenged anymore.
Did you feel like any difference between the stage and on camera?
Totally.
Like,
I felt very comfortable in theater, and then I joined the Good Trouble, and I think for 5 episodes, I would come up to Bradley and be like, I'm gonna get fired.
No,
I'm gonna get fired.
how did you come into the Good Trouble world?
I had to hire her.
Yeah?
I saw her several years ago at Rockwell, I think for the first time.
Yeah.
God, I can't remember what it was.
It might have been Rocky Horror.
Was it Cats?
On New Year's Eve?
No, it was before that.
Or Clueless or Cruel Intentions. One of the
Cruel Intentions. I saw you in Cruel Intentions. And I remember sitting there thinking, oh my God, that is a powerhouse. I just felt it. And so, and then we became friends slowly through the process. And we started developing Good Trouble and writing the first episode. And like a couple of days in, I was like, I know the girl that has to play this role. And I just, I reached out to her. I pursued
really
her.
lucky.
She was in New York at the time.
And he texted me. He was like, hey, I'm writing this part. I just keep hearing your voice. Can you send me a tape? And I was like, yeah, sure. He's like, great. Send it to me by midnight. I'll give you notes. And I was like, oh, this has to happen like today.
Well, I wanted to get it right. And we were sort of down to the wire. This was the last character of the main cast that we were casting.
Wow.
And so we went back and forth. But the first time you sent me the video, I was
Yeah.
like, that's it. There's just a few couple of tweaks.
Yeah, and then he sent me some tweaks because
Yeah.
I was like, I just wanted to do it right by him, and I didn't want him to be like, I'm gonna vouch for this girl. Here's a really bad tape.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't just my reputation on the line. I was also kind of putting his on there too, so I wanted
Yeah.
it to be right.
Yeah.
So I think like I was up to like 2 o'clock in the morning, like working on this tape with my husband and my roommate. Like people had to leave for work, and like I was like, okay, you film the second scene with me.
But that's what entertainment people do. We
and that's
rally
what it
around
is.
for each
Yeah.
other.
Yeah.
But as an actress, what a special feeling to have made that impact from that performance to producer for this spin-off of the Fosters.
I
on
say
this
to
network.
Bradley all the time, and he doesn't believe, well, I hope he believes me, but I say all the time, like, he changed my life. And he says, like, you did it. You're talented. You did it on your own. But I said, I know that I'm talented, but he's the first person who saw it in me who said, no, I'm going to make this happen. And that says more on about his character and the way that he likes to hire people
From
that
an
he loves.
outside, I'd say you both did it together.
We
Well,
did.
yes,
No,
we
we
did.
did.
We did
Yeah.
it together.
Yeah.
But one of my good friends, Marissa Winokur, says, she's like, I love that he hires his friends because
Yeah.
a lot of people will say, I have talented friends. You should be on a TV show. And you have kind of the capability of putting them on one, and you don't. But Bradley is someone who sticks to his word. And when he sees someone who's talented, he believes in, he will do what he can to get them where they need to go.
And I'll say there's 3 of us that run the show, so we have a voting system. Like we all have to vote, and sometimes it's 2 out of 3. But with you, I was like, no, I'm just gonna,
No
I'm gonna
system.
push as hard as I can.
Yeah.
And thank God it
thank
worked.
you. And here we are.
Lovely.
Exactly.
And here we are. Literally, the premiere is next month.
January 8th.
Guys,
January 8th.
Less than a month.
It's not even a month.
No, it's not even.
I know.
yeah.
I said the holidays are gonna come and go, and then all of a sudden it's gonna be a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's there.
That's probably better, though, so you're not just like...
Sitting around waiting for it to.
yeah.
Oh my god.
But it's already gotten such great buzz. And Michael, from your point of view, coming to a CW show, that also has some big heft to it because CW has made careers, and then it's also with people that just don't fit the mold or they're not able to fit the show right away are gone. Because talk about CW, I love their programming, but they are a machine.
Yes, they are.
You need to fit the role, you need to make the money, you need to be in a successful show or it's out.
Yeah.
So going to that audition, how did you approach that experience?
You know, it was actually my 11th audition being out here for my first pilot season. So I was going into it, you know, as
every
a
actor wants to
bright-eyed-
kill you right
I
now.
know. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I struggled for a year. You know, I struggled for a year back
oh, you
home.
poor thing.
For a year back home, I did. I had a lot of jobs trying to pay for, you know, coaching and whatnot.
Yeah,
and
you
photos.
did swimming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
You what? No, you worked
What?
as
You
an
said yes. You went with it.
aquatic director.
Oh, yes. That was one of my jobs. Yeah, I was an assistant manager at a pool. At a
I'm sure
public
all the
pool.
moms brought their little kids to that pool.
They did, and their little kids were wild.
Save me!
They were.
It's like the housewife is already floating at the top.
Oh Jesus! No. You know, going into that audition, it was. I was trying to keep it as another audition. You know.
Yeah.
You know, when my manager sent it to me, he was like, "Yo, this is you," and I was like, "Okay, whatever you say." And then I sent it to my best friend back home. He's like, "Yo, that's you," and I was like, "Okay, whatever." And then you know, you go through the audition process, and you get to the network test. And you're like, "Yo, what the fuck?" Like, pardon me. Like this could.
Everyone drink.
Like, yo, this could actually happen. You know, and. I remember whenever
You
I
need
got
to pay him for being on the show, by the way.
whenever you know you get the role, it's just like it was overwhelming. Like I said earlier, but the mindset that I told myself was I need to either keep up or get left behind.
Yeah.
And because they could recast me in a second, and so that's just kind of what I followed throughout the whole pilot, and then we got picked up, and it's just been that every single time.
Do you think that like kind of like pressure catapulted you to work even harder to do better?
100%. I was going home.
So if it was easy, it'd be easy.
If it was easy, it'd be easy. I was going home like you. Like I was like, I don't want to get fired from this job. Don't fire me, please.
No, please don't
you know.
fire me.
Yeah. At the end of the day, you know, it's like, please don't fire me.
So it kept you not complacent.
Of course. Oh yeah, I was never comfortable. And you know, like I said, going home every single night, I was staying up probably too late to just make sure I was
Know all your lines.
know all my lines because I did not want to be the actor,
But sometimes
especially
that
the new
gets
actor.
in your head,
Slows
though,
everyone
too.
down.
Yeah.
There was one day where I had like 5 scenes in a row, which had never happened to me, and we were like behind like 30 minutes, and I was like, it's all my fault, it's all your fault. You didn't
It's all
realize.
your
Yeah, it's terrifying
And
whenever
everyone's
you
like,
fuck up.
This happens all the time.
Whenever you
It's
mess
not
up your
your
lines.
Everyone drink again.
I'm so sorry, guys.
Michael, we're
I'm
all gonna
so
be drunk.
Sorry. It's terrible whenever you mess up your lines, though.
But I have to say, Michael, you naturally fit into this ensemble. The whole ensemble is really well cast, but you have that really difficult job. A lot of the first intense scenes in the first couple of episodes are with Taye Diggs, who plays your father. And we know Taye Diggs. I mean, he plays it hardcore.
He brings it. He brings
yeah, and
it,
you have
man.
to match that, and
Yeah.
you can't be. I mean, I love CW, but acting is up, it's down, depending what show. You guys do a really, really nice job. You guys tell a really great story.
Thank you.
Especially for the youth to have a different story being told out there when
Yeah.
we're in such a difficult time right now.
Yeah.
To have these stories out there. I want to take a look at a sneak peek at season 1 currently broadcasting that just finished the mid-season finale of All American.
Dope.
Come on, meet the crew. This here's Layla. Up there's Lucy, JJ, and Asher. You and Asher play the same position.
So lay it on me, man.
All right, look to me. If I get the signal, just give me the ball. Fast.
I'll see you boys in the end zone.
Excuse me, Spencer James. I'm Billy Baker, varsity coach, Beverly High. You're impressive out there. I want you to come play for me.
Play for you?
Yes, sir, for me. All right, South Crenshaw, y'all got a strong team, but Beverly Hills can offer you something that Crenshaw can't. Better education at a safer school.
What's up with you and this kid, Dad? Why do you care so much?
I come from Spencer's neighborhood. You have no idea what that's like.
You got the goods on and off the field. I knew it from the first day I met you, right here in this pole.
Boy, I see it. You gotta go. You're proud of where you're from, but tell me that going to Beverly isn't the best thing for you, baby.
I need you to do me a solid. Take Spencer under your wing. Help him connect to the fellas.
Yo, you must be Spencer.
I'll bring him in the fold.
What the hell are you doing?
I'm picking you up, man.
In your red car? In your red hat? You're gonna get your head blown off.
I'm just playing.
Come on, dog. He's scared.
Now remember, you're here on an academic permit. No fighting, or it's over. One and done. I got faith in you, Spencer. See you practice.
Hey, come on in. It's okay if you don't have a computer. Just pair up with a classmate for now.
You can share with me.
So you've met my tortured alt-left sister. Real ray of sunshine, isn't she? Come on, meet the crew. This here's Layla. Up there's Lucy, JJ, and Asher. You and Asher play the same position.
So lay it on me, man. Crips or Bloods?
Excuse me?
I'm dying to check out a Crip walk for real.
You wouldn't know a damn Crip walk if it hit you in the white ass.
I think he's intimidated by you.
It's just a small sneak peek at what's happening in season 1, and of course you can watch everything on demand, the CW app, and we're mid-season. You guys still have an episode and a half?
Yeah, we finished on Thursday, the 15th episode, and then we have episode 16 the 1st of January.
Now, I started watching episode 1, and your guys' social media is so great with your Instagram stories, and you guys seem to have like a real family connection.
Yeah, it's really weird, man. It's we've all kind of bonded just so quickly. It seems like for absolutely no reason. What's interesting is Cody Christian, who plays Asher, Jordan's best friend in the show. We're both from Indiana. I know I'm from Ohio, but I grew up in Columbus, Indiana, and he grew up in Franklin, and we just kind of had that connection. And then Daniel, who plays Spencer, we also just had a weird connection, and it's just been it's weird how you kind of just get on set and you start working with these people every single day, and they become like a little mini family. Like I call Tay my dad, I call Monet, who plays my mom. You know, it's.
I call Tay daddy too.
They're also like the only people who really get what you're going through. Our set is comprised of like a bunch of really, save for Maya and Sierra and Roger, who is really well known in the theater industry.
Like, I love that Roger Bart is in it.
Me too.
And he's amazing.
He's so good.
The opposite of what you expect on the show.
Everyone's really pretty much unknown. Like we're all kind of figuring this out together. And like when we all showed up on set for the first day of rehearsal, we were all like, "Hi, what's your name? This is so weird."
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Like we're just kind of all waiting for like the ball to drop. Like we're waiting for someone to be like, "Oh, we called the wrong person." Like who was supposed to be here? My bad. Like, but it's you all just kind of because you're all going through this really weird.
It's transition.
It's transition, and it's like you're doing this really cool thing that you love that no one else has seen or really knows about, and it's like your own little special secret.
But it's also this innocent energy. Kurt, you've been on so many different sets as guest stars for shows that have been established, new shows that have come and gone. You know, you kind of, I heard from other people that have guest starred, you can also get jaded in that. You go do your part and you're kind of isolated from the cast, and it could be a really lonely journey. But when you're on a new project, there's this energy bubbling, and it does come from the top too. I know you guys have a very family way of the way that you write, you create, and your vision that started with the Fosters. It's really a family that you've built.
It's the most important thing for us about the process is to make sure that everyone feels inclusive and everyone feels a part of the process. And we hire the right people to do the right jobs, and we trust them to do those jobs. We don't micromanage. We make sure everyone feels like they have ownership of the show, and that's just part of what we try to create on our shows.
Now, I want to talk to you guys about visibility. So, like I said, I started watching episode 1, and of course, I always have to look at who affects me, and I follow them on Instagram, see if they have a Facebook page, and I followed you from very first episode, and then I've seen the growth from the first episode, and that's just what happens on the CW. Is you get
they find you.
They find you. You have like the girls that are into like the heartthrob. You get the other actors. You get the sports people. And on Good Trouble, now you're being noticed in a whole different way because it's not the Broadway that I can hit this note and I'm known for that and you've seen me on this role. It's something new to an audience that comes from the Fosters, and that comes with some weight to it as well. It's like, okay, you want to spin off? Show me what you got. It better be the Fosters and then better. And so it comes with some, but there's this new visibility that you guys have, and there's a new interaction. There's also a new responsibility that you have for everything that you do.
1000%.
Yeah.
You kind of have to.
You just kind of roll with it.
Yeah, it's like Warner Brothers put us kind of through a training.
Yep.
Me and Daniel through a training after the pilot, but I think before we got picked up, which is kind of like a green light. Like, oh, we're gonna get picked up. But they just to be kind, and which I think is just common sense. I'm gonna be as kind to my followers as I think that they want. I want them to be as kind to me. It's the golden rule. But obviously, don't put out drugs or bad things that you do if you do them. Not that I do them. So I was just gonna say, not that I do them. Go ahead and clear that up. Not that I do them.
He does not do them.
Not that I do them, but like if you're going out with your boys, you're going out drinking. Don't. Sorry, Frederick. Don't mean to give you a heart attack.
Yeah.
If I'm going out with my boys and I'm drinking, I'm not gonna put that anywhere on my social media because I know I have little kids, not little kids, but I know I have younger audiences who are following me, and I've had that since high school.
Yeah.
I've had since college. Excuse me. These high school kids, who look up to me or whatever, and my mom's always harped me on that of don't put anything like that on your social media.
I've been working since I was 10, so it's always, and I grew up in social media with the social media world, so it's always been that.
But TV
idea.
fame is different, and how do you guys keep grounded, and how do you guys not feed into temptation? I've had a lot of friends go through the MTV network, and some of them make it through.
Stay out of the DMs.
Well, see, that's it. But
Don't read the comments. Don't read the DMs. Have a good family. Have a good not just blood family, but your family support system. People I have probably 5 girlfriends who, if I got a big head, I would walk into the room and they would smack me across the face and be like, "Listen, bitch.
Yep.
Oh,
that's
this
good
is
to keep
not
those
who
people
you
tight.
are."
Well, see, that's important.
Very
And
good
plus,
to keep
I'll
those
do
people
that too.
tight,
And Bradley, that's the thing is we have I pride myself on keeping that environment.
It's different when you have old school friends that will remind you of where you came from.
Yeah.
I got a girlfriend named Jessica, Denning. Hey, how you doing? She'll go hey, remember this picture of you in white jeans in 6th grade? You know what I mean?
jeans.
It's all right,
Blackmail. That's called
blackmail,
by the way. Yeah. Oh lordy.
But it's also with the people in the industry that you mix with. Like Bradley, the day one I met you, you're nothing but humble and grounded when you're up to all of this massive goodness. But to meet you, you're just here's what I am. But how do you?
That's
do
a
with
good
the
mom, by the
temptation?
way. I come from a very good family, and I
family.
think that's where, honestly,
It's mom.
it's my mom's. Yeah.
But we still have to have that confidence, and there has to be, our fans want us to play a certain role, and we have to do that a little bit. But how do you guys deal with the temptation? And, you go from having to sleep on an air mattress to, well, now I could buy this apartment complex.
See, I'm really bad, though, because I have a feisty temper, and I have to text people, fine. I have to text people and be like, please, pray to God to hold my hand back right now, from verbally smacking someone online. It takes a lot. That was something that I had to really take home from my social media training was don't respond.
You cannot.
What
general,
I love about
can't
you is you
engage.
still do it on Facebook.
Yeah.
I still do it
for
though.
the close friends and
For the
family.
close friends. I still do it. People will say looks like trash. I'll be one man's trash is another man's treasure, bitch.
Oh gosh.
I write it out and then delete it.
See, I don't. That's the problem. Is I need to. I'm still learning. I need to get to the point in my life in self-restriction where I can just delete it.
See, I'll just like the comment sometimes. I'll be petty. And just be yeah.
But it's so weird that we can't just be actors and producers and writers. Now we've got to spend all this time on social media.
Well, I think social media trains an actor to realize that their personality, their personal life, isn't their characters and isn't what is the outward expression of them. You know what I mean? That's this thing out here that's them. You're here. You know what I mean? This is your mom, your dad, your brothers, your friends, everything else. All the stuff that's social media, it's for everybody else. It's like going on a date. You're meeting my representative.
Here's what I chalk it up to.
Yeah.
If they're writing about your show, whether they love it or they're coming at you, they're passionate about your show on either side of the
You
spectrum.
can turn somebody into a super fan.
Yeah.
Or they're jealous
But
because they want to be you. They want to be in your
ignited
position.
something.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
at least they're thinking and
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about
And that's
it.
all it is. And that's what we have to remember. If they're coming at you, it just means they're passionate.
They care.
Exactly.
They've sat through enough to watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
And be
I
able
will
to make a
say though,
judgment.
there's as hard as it is to find that line, there is something very lovely about having the power of being that person in someone's life, whether it's in a small way or a large way, but the way that you can impact someone. I'm very lucky that I get to play a body positive like Instagram girl on my TV show, and I get to be a body type that I didn't get to grow up seeing. I'm not necessarily like a bigger girl like we've got like representation on This Is Us, or a really, really skinny small girl. Like a lot of girls are built like that just naturally. I'm not on either end of the extreme spectrum, but I didn't grow up seeing anybody like that on TV. So it's important for girls who look like me to have someone who looks like me and not have it be a big fucking deal.
Right, exactly.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Well, one of our listeners said, you seem to have I don't care what you think of me attitude and energy. Where did you get that from? And do you think the industry is changing as to what our vision of a perfect actress is? A perfect looking actress?
I think we're learning slowly. As I'll go to the second part of that first.
Yeah.
I think we're learning. I think it all comes back to inclusivity. I think that is not just as far as race, although I do think that is the biggest hurdle we have to overcome. It's not just disabilities; it's also body types, and what people's different opinion of beautiful is. I would love to see a movie or a TV show where a girl is big and we don't comment on it.
Yeah,
or she doesn't have to hit her head, or someone else doesn't have to hit her head to see her as beautiful. I think there are. It's very important, and it has a lot of weight. Something that I love in Good Trouble is that I have a romantic interest who is very attractive, and very fit, and and tall, and like the typical version of handsome. And it's just not. It's not a thing. It's just. It was very important to me that they didn't pair me up with this big, loafy guy, or
and I'm telling you what
because
happens in
I'm
real
that
life.
way.
There's all different types in real life.
Totally.
So it's like, and the fact we don't have to comment, like you said, or like there's a gay couple in the new JCPenney ad. What if we didn't even have to say, just like that was a great.
That's
show.
a cute couple.
That's a cute couple. How alternative?
Yeah.
Well, that's just a couple that exists in America, and we finally are seeing it on television. So I think we're getting there. I think the way that that helps that is having roles like Davia on screen, where I think the big fear is seeing how people react to it, and when I think people realize that people love seeing those kinds of things and seeing themselves,
but you're going to be an inspiration to how many different people out there that need that message.
But that's what makes it all worth it. Like even if it's 10 people or 10 million people, that makes it worth it, because I didn't have that growing up, and my mindset I'm sure would have been a lot different, which is where my confidence comes from, because my mom gave me the confidence to be who I am, for sure. My cousin Christopher, my husband, makes me feel confident every day. But like it took a lot of years of feeling not confident and being bullied in school. I've always known that I wanted to be an actress, which when you're 10 is weird. And a lot of kids are like, I don't know what I like. I don't even know what I want for lunch. Like you know what I mean?
I like toys.
I don't.
I was like toys.
So, right. You know what I mean? So like that I had to work on my own confidence a lot. I found that through being on stage and through older mentors telling me, like, keep doing this. You know what you're doing. Stick. It's going to be really hard, but you're going to hit an age where you can finally play your age, and it's going to be worth it.
I really love that. And I want to talk to the men actors as well, because there's body issue pressures on you. Michael, you're young, and so you have your metabolism, but you grew up as an athlete as well. It's part of your blood.
Right.
You're also on the honor, you were on the honor roll for academia, by the way.
Academia.
Academia.
Yes.
I thought it was a macadamia nut. But you now have this pressure as well. If you gain 10 pounds, if you don't want to work out a day, which I'm sure you want to work out, but you have this pressure to be you. And Kurt, I know, because we're friends, you know, you're like, can't eat, can't drink, because I got to prepare for this role. And
You said that to me on the way in.
Yeah,
you did.
I did.
He's like, I can't drink sometimes because I know I'm going to get puffy before I go on camera.
Yeah. And if you're doing naked scenes and stuff,
From my
I know.
Arby's
You gotta
cheese
prep for
sauce
that.
on my sweater, like from strategically hiding it behind the
Girl,
microphone.
you should be hiding that Arby's sauce, because Arby's is gross just as Arby's.
Listen,
That's
bitch.
the only thing you need to hide, girl.
Don't make me curse again. I'll make them charge you $10 more.
Arby's is literally the only fast food place I will not step into.
Why?
Even if it was 3 in the morning.
No,
It's
you're talking to the
Wait. So you'll step into White Castle?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, you won't have roast beef.
I'll step in. I'll even eat the new maple bullshit chicken sandwich at Wendy's.
Honey, you're talking to the girl who watched Super Size Me and paused it halfway to order McDonald's on Postmates, and then called when it wasn't there in time.
When your Postmates driver knows your name, there's a problem. I'm like, hey girl, what's up?
Hey, how you doing? My husband's like, we know.
And your husband's a chef too.
My
He's probably
husband's a
like,
chef, and I Postmates 3 times a day every day.
We stop rehearsal because she has Postmates
I
arriving.
do. I'm like, hold on,
with
Wendy's is
Taco
coming.
Bell. No, Taco Bell.
Taco Bell,
Yeah.
Taco
Chipotle.
Bell's cracked.
Chipotle is not.
Yeah.
You know, Taco Bell was voted the best Mexican
Yes.
restaurant
It's the
in
best
America.
for you. It's the most. It's the most
kidding
healthy
you.
fast food.
I'm kidding you.
It was. That shows you how messed up our voting system is.
That is ding ding. That is right.
Taco Bell.
But talk to me about body issues being a male actor, and that there's a pressure there too.
Yeah, I mean, to be not only an amputee, but to be like somebody who's going to get naked on camera, you have to look a certain
Is that
way if
coming
you're
up?
going to do it. I can't talk about it.
That's a yes.
This is
All right,
gonna be
I'm
the
in.
first
I'm
thing
in.
I'm naked in again.
It's funny because we're such good friends, but the joke started. We were on a red carpet together.
Yes.
And like I was like, let me flirt with him, and then he flirted back because he's so comfortable with who he is. And then like I've been dead ever since. No, don't.
I can give him a look and he's done.
Yeah,
And he's done.
Like, I just, like, I grin like
done.
an idiot. It's
Cut
so
to you
funny.
in a piggy mask.
Look at
Oh,
Alexander.
Oh, this just took-
I
This
got-
is my
you know,
fantasy, not yours.
I did steal one of those piggy masks. So if you
Oh,
want.
see, I'm telling you.
Oh my Lanta.
I
It's a
think
thing.
I think you know it's hard. No matter what you do in this business, it's hard, and that's why a lot of people don't do it. But there's a lot of body issues, and I think what you have to get back to is the content of someone's character. And I think when you get back to that, you realize that everything else is irrelevant. And as long as you can trust and love somebody, then they're willing of that, then all of a sudden you bypass all those other idiosyncrasies that really don't matter.
Damn.
Now I know, Michael, like working out every week, like that's part of your life. Like that literally is part of your daily life.
Yeah.
Like
You have to.
I mean,
Every
yeah,
day
be-
I work out.
Yeah, because
4 or
working-
5 days a week.
If I don't work out, then it kind of builds up in my head that and it's like the stress and everything that I'm built up just throughout the whole week, it weighs on you.
Yeah.
And so working out for me is a release.
I've never worked out a day in my life.
You lucky girl.
Look, I
No,
didn't
it's
go
not
to a
'cause
gym.
I don't have to. It's because I can't.
No, look at. I'll tell you, I'm in the gym listening to music,
looked
and
into
all
it,
I think, listen, in the gym, all I think is I'm picking things up and I'm putting them down. I'm picking them up and I'm putting them
Yeah,
down.
but
But I
here's-
still do other like.
Here's the
'cause
thing. I don't
was a
pick
pro
things up in my
athlete,
own
though.
home.
Well, but I was a pro athlete, so I rode like
Remote,
BMX,
Judge
doing
Judy.
other things.
Yeah.
So I was like doing flips and tricks and everything else, like riding 8-9
So
hours.
weights
a day.
is boring to you.
Weights is like what am I doing? But then it's the really only thing to affect like body chiseling.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you
You
guys
know?
had like sports in
Cardio.
your life, like from a musical theater background, Emma. Like I'm from a musical theater background. Like we didn't do that. We went to like musical theater camp, and this was our cardio.
No, when I do a show, I'm like, oh great, that's my workout for the year. Like whenever when
Because
someone
you
puts
choose-
me in a
yeah.
dance number, I'm like, all right, there we go. That's my cardio for the 6 months of the year that I do cardio.
And you work hard in
I
this
do.
show.
I work really hard.
Yeah.
I saw your little thing. You work hard for the money. I saw that
I work
online.
hard for
The
the
little
money.
the
That-
videos.
yeah,
I saw all your
that's,
videos
She
where you're
still has
singing
me blocked on
songs.
Facebook, so I don't know what you're talking about.
You sang Gravity,
Oh.
right? That song Gravity.
Blocked.
Did you sing Gravity? That one.
Define
Gravity.
Gravity?
Online. There's like
Gravity.
no, just
Oh,
Gravity.
Oh. Just from Sarah Bareilles.
Yeah, yeah,
yes,
yeah.
I did that.
Like seriously,
That was from, I was
sorry,
like 16
husband.
in that video.
I'm gonna say sorry, husband, but when she's saying that, I was like, oh. It was.
He's
well
used to
said.
Oh, I thought you were
He's
calling
used to
me
it.
your husband. Did
I
you
thought
see
he
me
was
get
too.
excited?
I thought he was
Yeah,
too.
thank you.
I saw it.
And I was like, oh.
I saw the
He was
excitement in your
referring
eyes.
to my husband who's in the corner of the room watching this.
But Michael, talking about body issues, like even in like your Microsoft commercial.
Yeah. Oh, I got flamed for that, by the way.
What do you mean?
Well, because here's how it is. I love the
didn't see
commercial
it.
because it really shows your personality. You're such a sweet, down-to-earth guy. It shows his workout routine, and then it's like, oh, I love donuts. I can work out for an hour in the gym, so I can have one donut. And I'm like, bitch, I have a dozen before I leave the house.
Like,
Why'd you get flamed for it?
Oh, but because they make fun of my legs.
Why? Because they're
What?
skinny.
Yeah, because they're skinny.
Like
I
yeah.
had
had
two
two-
legs any day.
I had two.
Well, I have one
two
leg,
foot
and it's pretty
sugars.
skinny.
Yeah, I mean, it was- I had two. I had two. Okay,
Yeah. See.
it's skinnier than mine. Shouldn't skip leg
You
day.
know, these differently abled actors just have to hold up.
I'm just kidding. No, I mean,
I thought you were going to get guff because this is what I laughed at, and it's just funny what your point of view is. I never even thought about your legs because, I mean, you're just a tone fit guy. I mean,
you.
all the girl heartthrob groups and all that. I thought about it as like, I work out hard so I can have one donut. That's where I like took offense to that.
oh.
Isn't that funny how like everybody has like a different?
I mean,
people
yeah,
make
it-
fun of your legs.
No, yeah, I mean,
Tell them to go to the bank and cash their payroll check.
Maybe,
No one makes
maybe.
fun of anything on me because they know better.
Yes, girl.
That's
They
wise.
know better.
That's a wise decision. No, I mean, yeah. I mean, I probably have more than one donut. I have multiple donuts a day on set.
And you still look like that.
And then
Right?
I mean, my
Yeah, but
my
he's
trainer.
21.
I'm training
Like,
for 22.
I have half a cronut and I can't fit in my jeans for like a month and a half.
I have a glass of water, and I'm like, it was simply decadent.
I looked at a donut the other day, and I got fucking 10 pounds heavier.
Shit.
I'm
gonna pay
man.
for this for a week, by the way.
I know.
Whatever, you guys.
I'm gonna work out. I work out 2 hours a day minimum.
Jesus,
just to
what
do
are you
it.
doing in the
So
gym
I
for
can
2
do
hours?
this. I do like 45 minutes of like bike or run, you know,
God,
and
I
then
wish
I
I
do
had
like
that
an
time.
hour and a
No,
half.
like I went on a treadmill once.
'Cause you
My
got-
heart
you got
started
guns, right?
racing. I thought I was
Little
gonna
bit,
die,
little bit.
and I went and I.
You got
ordered
bigger guns than I do,
I
though.
ordered a pina colada.
You guys, my shoelace got caught in the thing, and so
No.
True story.
Wait. What
My
got caught in
mom
what?
would even verify it tore the skin off my knees.
No.
Hair won't grow in this whole patch on my knees.
Shut
Is
up.
it really from that?
Or did you like?
Oh!
I was 12 years old, you pervert.
Jesus Christ.
Although I was an altar boy.
That's a whole different episode.
Hold on.
There's a lot to unpack here.
Michael,
Yes.
a question we got. You're fairly young to the acting world, and that
1000%.
your youth was with athleticism, and you were focusing on school. What school of acting do you come from, if any, or did you get training? What do you subscribe to?
What do I? I didn't go to any necessarily a school of training. I just had a couple coaches that I worked with. One in Indianapolis and one in Louisville. And I worked with them for, like I said, that 1 year that I was, hustling, if you will. I worked with them basically every single weekend, multiple times a week. Wednesdays and then Saturdays, or Wednesdays and then Sundays, excuse me, for multiple hours a day, just to kind of be able to harness everything that I had inside of me, because I had a whole bunch of energy and I had a whole bunch of creativity in my mind, when I was in college and I made the decision to leave, but I didn't know how to make it into a character or make it believable or make it, be able to tell a story. So I used all the time that I could to be able to just create characters and study scripts and whatnot, and that's where I come from, basically.
Yeah. I mean, you were pre-med, right?
Pre-med, yeah, I was biology pre-med at ISU.
Yeah.
So my mom
Same.
wasn't really happy when I left school, but
No,
I was an MUN.
look. I was getting my master's in hydrogeology, so I
shit,
get
okay.
it. I get it. Yeah.
Do you guys want to do your own show? Like,
Yeah.
we're here at the Bob and Tom Show.
Yeah. Hi.
Theater.
Our show is called Arby's and Donuts.
Arby's and Donuts.
Arby's
Michael
is
and
good.
Kurt
I know
Yaeger.
everything about.
I haven't had Arby's in a while, though, honestly.
You want to go get some
I
Arby's
had
after?
it.
All right, let's go run around the
It lives
block.
down the street.
I just had a vegan meal with him.
No. Okay.
Oh, it's me and you tonight.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
But it's funny because we talk about body issues and certain pressures, and I have to say, in LA, especially because LA theater is not always the best. And we're going to talk about Edward Scissorhands and how you guys are ripping reviews left and right, just to the side. You guys are dominating.
Nice.
But LA theater is full of a lot of pretty people who cannot act, and
Well-
so we think no. But I'm really being
look,
serious,
I think
and
that-
I've had them on the show.
I think the thing is about like body image. I think what happens is like the people who are very attractive have like the initial first look, and then if they're talented and everything else, it also adds to it. But just because you happen to be like fit or something means nothing.
I don't think that if you're fit, you should be able to get a role. I think you
Exactly.
should
No,
earn the role.
what I'm
Earn the
saying-
right for the role.
What I'm saying is like when I go on an audition or am I in a play and I feel a little chunky or whatever, it's like I have to prove that I can act and be funny on top of that. Whereas I'm not seeing that somebody from your point of view is still saying the same thing, that you have to prove that just because you're this, that you can act.
I mean,
I
no
will
one
say
thinks he's
though-
pre-med.
Yeah,
no
yeah,
one
yeah.
thinks that I'm getting
This
my
is a
master's in
debate.
hydrogeology.
Yeah,
no one thinks you're
When-
smart.
as in a theater production, when we get a TV or a film actor in the show, none of us are like, "Ooh, we're so excited." We're like, "All right, bitch, let's see what you can bring to the plate."
Yeah, it should
like,
be that.
no one.
That's
it's
good
like
to know for your guest
but it's-
co-stars.
But it's like
All right,
but
bitch.
when you have a TV or it's like because the thing is there is a certain rapport that comes with having like a theater credit on your resume. That is respect. Like if you can do live theater, you can do anything.
Yeah.
Like
Because you're
it's
doing it
hard.
live and it's over and it's
and
over,
it's
yeah.
8 times a week. Like
Yeah.
that shit is the hardest stuff I've
That's a
ever
workout.
done in my
That's
entire
your-
life.
your
It's
workout.
hard, and it's hard to tell a different story every week. It is harder to say the same thing every night convincingly 8 times a week. It drains you. It is hard.
I can't
So when
imagine.
you get a TV and a film actor
It's
in
hard,
there,
yeah.
and you've got people who have been working there for 10, 12 years, and they just want to stroll in because when they walk in, they're going to get their Tony. They're going to get, like, you're going to sell out your whole run when they're there. But you better come to play ball.
I love that.
You better come to, because we don't go easy on you. We don't care. Like we if you suck, we'll tell you.
And with all due respect, there's a reason that those actors come in for like 3 months at a time or 6 months at a time.
True. I've worked
it's
with
about the billboard more than anything.
I've worked with very few
Chicago
actors,
the musical.
But I've worked with very few actors who were able to come in and really hold their own, and you were like, wow, okay, you really actually care about the art and the whole thing. I've never worked with him personally, but I know Daniel Radcliffe is one of those people that everyone who works with him in New York is like,
he's a
if
genius.
you get Daniel
But he's
Radcliffe in a
working
production,
hard.
everyone just loves how much he respects the
I didn't
theater.
even know when I was there. It was Fashion Week when we were there in New York. He was doing a show with Bobby Cannavale, around the corner. I was like, wait, it wasn't
doing a play
splashed
there right
everywhere. I was
now?
like, because he's really trying hard to
Cares
work on
about
his
the art.
acting, especially because he has that whole Harry Potter thing. He's like,
Of
no,
course.
and so he's. So let's talk about your theater because obviously from the Wicked family, the Wicked family is like the CW family that you have fans that are hardcore.
Oh yeah.
How did you work towards making Alphaba your own while still pleasing the fans? On top of you being so young.
I will say that Wicked, because of its large fan base and because of how long it's been around, there's not really much you can do with it that already hasn't been done. And I will say, with not just with Wicked, but with any musical theater show, you see someone come in and switch things up. That's usually someone that gets special permission. A lot of people think you have a lot more freedom than you do. So when people are giving you shit about your choices, they don't realize. And Wicked is one of those, because it's been around for a long time. They have a very specific way of how
It's
they
like a
like to
Disney
do things.
product.
There's a little more freedom, and because it's not geared much towards like really really young kids. You're telling an adult story. There's a little bit more freedom, but I will say they have a tried and true method of the way that things work, and it's a hard show to do. So they want you to stick to the way that those things work. And you don't get, but that's with any show. You don't get a lot of freedom when you come in. You can't just come in and say, I want to put a riff here. That's not how it works. This is how the composer wrote it. This is how they're going to do it.
Unless you're Daphne Rubin Vega in Les Mis.
Sometimes they'll let you take things up.
How do you deal with
but it's hard,
like
the
your big
pressure's hard.
personality and like knowing or feeling like something should go a direction and being like, if I could
We
just
actually
play.
have a picture of you.
There she is.
Yes.
I am. I will say I'm a big personality, and I do like to stick
Right.
to my guns. I try to steer away from projects where I don't feel like I have that freedom.
Yeah.
And if I do not have that freedom, I get out pretty quick.
Yeah.
But I've been really really lucky that my entire career has really spanned a lifetime of like working with people who are interested in me breaking the mold. Michael Greif is one of those directors that I love working with, that just consistently casts me in roles that I am not physically or necessarily vocally or acting wise right for, or traditionally what's been cast before, because he likes to see what I do with it.
I mean, you mentioned like having like a big personality and yet a lot of respect for the process, So
Totally.
like maybe it's that combination that makes you take risks, but only in very finite ways that someone can believe in.
But that's
and
what's great
follow
about
you.
playing a role that someone's never played before, is that there is no limit. Like the limit really doesn't exist. You're finding out what that is, which is what can sometimes make theater really hard. Is you will work on a role for several years. There have been shows that I've done where I've been the only person to play it from the very first reading until the time it went to production. It went to production, they cast a name.
Damn.
And that sucks, because you write it with them. It's put into your voice, and then all of a
that's the
sudden it
character.
goes somewhere, and it's not you.
73% of all murders are unsolved.
Is that really true?
I learned that during Tell Me a Story, by the way.
I've got ideas.
Just give me a call.
But it is something along those lines. It's like you just kind of have to you respect it so much that it's like, when you do get this something that you get to take from start to finish, and you do get to put your own stamp on, the freedom is really there, and you get to really bring your ideas to the table. Also, something great about working on Good Trouble is there's this like sort of reputation that now people respect me more for being on one TV show than they did for doing 20 years of Broadway.
It gives you so much like authenticity in it. Like when you are allowed to at least dabble in like the creative process, you're gonna come tomorrow with so much more juice.
Right.
And you're like now
and you
excited.
have time to sit in it and like
Some
really
will work
soak
and some
it up.
will not, but you work in a creative team. Michael, how much were you able to work with the writers? How much did your character change from like the first scripts that you got for like the rest of the show, and you guys still are not finished filming.
I mean, we're all kind of allowed to put our own twist on the characters. You know, obviously we have the words to read, and being a network show, you kind of have to stick to the script because it's got to go through so many levels to be changed. But they do listen to us, and they do let us kind of play around with it. I know that we've all kind of added our own tendencies. We haven't really. I've never sat down with the writers and been like, "Yo, I don't like this about Jordan," or "I love this about Jordan. Can we go deeper into this?" It's just they've kind of just like they've seen what I do on screen, and they just kind of go in the right direction that I love to do, that I love going.
So you're
anyway.
showing like little nuances, and then they take that and add to it.
Yeah. So they're kind of creating this storyline. Yeah, it's there. I mean, the writers' room is absolutely fantastic.
Nice.
They're doing it fantastic. Every single script we read is just like, what the fudge. I said fudge.
He said fudge. No one drink. Nobody drink.
Every single script we read is just like it
Want some more?
It explodes our mind. It's wild.
Here's the thing, like if I was a guest star, or if I was like on the first
down
thing,
this way.
It's okay. I say that like I have a driver's license. I don't drive anything.
You don't drive at
No.
all?
I moved to New York when I was 16.
Okay.
There was no point.
I spent the last 3.5 months in New York filming.
And I bet you didn't drive once.
You drove me crazy.
You know what I found? I didn't like that I had no personal freedom to hop on the motorcycle and go. But
that's how I feel about
the subway there allowed me to read. So like I could spend 20 minutes reading, going every direction, and
That's how I feel
it was
about
like
the
a
subway here
difference.
though versus driving. I'm like, oh,
Is there a subway here?
Yeah.
Yeah, but don't take it.
Don't
take it.
It's not.
I
Don't
took
take
the
the
subway
subway.
in New York for the first time, and I'm not a princess, but I almost cried. It was so horrifying.
No, the subway in New York?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's fine.
He's
It's
sensitive.
glorious.
You have to get used to it. You have to get used
It
to
was
it.
Urinetown.
It's
all over me.
It's 2 to 3 weeks.
Oh, that's a good day.
2 to 3 weeks. 2 to 3 weeks, and then you start realizing like where to sit, which car to sit in.
Oh, you
if
know
you're
if
gonna
the
go on
car
the
is
C,
empty, you don't
go
go
to
in
that
there.
side. Yeah.
Like you don't go into an empty car in a New York subway.
Well, I'm okay with
So,
it.
no.
Nothing's gonna
Someone
happen.
probably went to the bathroom in there.
Well, that's where I'm saying. Like, if I go too, then it's not that big a deal.
Jesus.
Oh
What fun conversation we have for one many people in the room. Bradley, I want to know during the Fosters, during the end of the Fosters, when, at what point, and who came up with the idea for a spin-off for Good Trouble? When did that start to become a reality or even a discussion?
The network didn't want to be out of the Fosters business because we broke some ground and we
You guys are on the Ellen show, for God's sake.
Yeah. And, we were, I think, the most critically acclaimed show on that network to date.
The list of awards from national to regional and from all the fans that made their own covers of the theme song from all different walks of life.
Really?
That was
Yeah.
special.
No, we created quite a community. And so I think they wanted to continue moving forward with that community. And so they came to us before we found out we weren't coming back and said, look, we want to continue this business with you guys.
Nice.
So if we were to say, hey, we want to give you a spinoff, what would that look like? And so suddenly the three of us had to get into a little room and decide, what kind of stories do we want to tell if we're allowed to tell them. And it was a lot of back and forth. And then finally we came up with this pitch that eventually became Good Trouble, and they ordered it right away, straight to series. So it's like very rare. No, it's very rare that you get that
This room
opportunity.
is just full of like success. They called me, I appeared once, and then I 11th audition.
Like 99.9% of the time, you have to shoot a pilot, and then you figure it out. We went straight to series.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
I feel like Good Trouble though just like has this like aura around it of just like everyone in that room is where they were supposed to be at the right time, and everyone is very aware of that and grateful.
Yeah,
and that's
So, like,
that's often by the people who are making that.
It comes from the top down.
Yeah,
But like the first day we got onto set, Bradley and Peter and Joanna were all very adamant about being like, "This is your family now.
That's great.
This is we're all figuring this out together. If we're ever saying anything that feels inauthentic to you, please feel free to come up to us and tell us."
We're super present. Like a lot of showrunners will sort of stay behind the scenes. We're always there.
They're
we
always
never
there.
leave. We don't sleep, but we're always by their side.
But
And
that it shows in the quality of the show and the quality of the writing. Like there's no storyline that goes unfinished. There's always a cliffhanger. You care about all of these characters, which is hard when you're going into a show that already has a built-in fan base.
From what I can tell from the trailer and from early critic reviews, and I know some people that have seen some stuff, it captures everything you want from the Fosters, and then it's even more. It's like, okay, we did this for you, and now this is the story. It's so different that it's its own show, but it so honors the Fosters. Let's take a look at the trailer, and you guys just look at the chemistry in this trailer.
We're so cute.
I just can't imagine us not sitting around this table together.
So we don't have our own kitchen or bathroom?
No. We all share. We're just in time.
You guys gonna join?
Should we give it a chance?
That's just one of like 6 trailers that are out there.
They
You
cut
guys-
22 trailers, by the way.
Yeah.
22 trailers.
And
yeah.
each one is so vibrant. And
It's amazing.
It is.
Yeah.
I cannot wait for Good Trouble. The official premiere date is
January
January
8th.
8th.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys.
Yeah.
New,
Guys, I can't wait.
Yeah, new viewers you're going to have. Foster's viewers you're going to have. Bradley, now I want to bring you, you're doing this scope of show. You've also done huge Broadway shows. We know Moulin Rouge is hitting Broadway. You also really like intimate pieces.
Yeah.
And you've been known for some of your smaller pieces, especially at Rockwell.
Yeah.
Right now, you're working on the Edward Scissorhands musical version, which you're like, what? The film is so beautiful and perfect in its own. Before we start to talk about it, Kurt, can you play just a brief, here's some of the images from the live stage show that's happening in Southern California that will blow your mind. So you guys, this is this huge scope movie that we all love. That's a holiday film. That's whatever. I bought all the Hot Topic Edward Scissorhands t-shirts.
Didn't we all?
But this beautiful imagery is happening on stage in Southern California. But you're bringing Moulin Rouge. You brought Sideshow. You invested in Dear Evan Hansen, American Idiot. You do shows like The Breakfast Club, Love is a Battlefield, and now Edward Scissorhands, where you take this huge scale and you...
Yeah.
But then you fill this cast with amazing actors, such as Emma,
Hey.
Jordan Kai from New York, whom I love. Why do you do these small pieces? Obviously, nobody's making money here. Let's just be honest.
Well, I mean, look, Love is a Battlefield is becoming something quite spectacular after I did it at Rockwell. And I'm in LA, and there's not a lot of opportunity to do theater in Los Angeles.
True.
And I spend, 24 hours of my life on a television set. And so when I have a little window, I want to be in a live room and put on these stories with these very talented actors because I can't get enough. There's nothing like this equal exchange between these incredible talented people and the audience that you feel in the room. It's this vibrancy, this electricity that you don't get in television. You get a little bit through Twitter or social media because now we can interact when we're watching the television shows. But there's nothing like being in a room when you feel that equal exchange of energy. And so that's why I do it, And I've been in love with Scissorhands, Edward Scissorhands, forever, since it came out in 1990 or whatever. And I think the film is all about being different and being other. And I feel like if they got to make that movie 30 years later, what would that movie look like? And that's the story that we're telling now. A woman is playing Scissorhands, and it's about gender identity and gender fluidity. And so now we get to tell a whole different story inside this really magical, special, fantastical world. And so I had to do it. I had a very short window. And the moment I knew I had this window, I came right to Emma and I said, will you do it with me? And we've created this really, I think, quite special, magical,
There's something magical
immersive experience.
about like something like this that's like, okay, how do we figure this out? How do we make it snow? How do we figure out these like topiaries? And Bradley's done a really wonderful job of setting up this, of giving the audience enough credit to be smart enough to go on the journey to see the things that we all know.
And Emma really believed this because on your Instagram you actually have one of the videos from Scissorhands.
We actually have a sneak peek at her performance.
But she says in the background, like it's like this is what it's about.
This is why we do it.
Yeah,
there was a little boy named Emerson Jordan Kyburnett, who plays Scissorhands, is like the fiercest lady I've ever met in my entire life. You have to come to see the show just to see her in it because she's so brilliant. So her chiropractor has a son named Emerson who is 8 years old, and his favorite movie has been since he was like 4, Edward Scissorhands. He's been painting his nails black like his whole life. He like is just like this little goth kid, and he was the sweetest thing. And he was sitting there the whole show, just like hands in his lap, so polite, sitting up straight, just like loving it. And the second we got into sort of the gender identity stuff, his mom just completely lost it and was weeping and was just holding his hand, and it just felt like this I was looking at her as Peg, the mom, like while she was holding her son, and I had Scissorhands, and it just felt like this very significant moment between the four of us that I was like, I have to bring this little kid on stage to dance with me, because like you see the kid like, and like we changed that kid's life that day. Like he was so excited, and the second we brought him up, he was like, I don't want to do anything.
But then he danced with you.
And then he danced to this, but it's like waiting all day to see Mickey, and then you see Mickey and you just can't stop crying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is one of those amazing like theater magic moments.
And it's funny because you say if we were to make this film now, I think if we were to make this film now, we'd hit it over the head if it was a Hollywood production.
Right.
I think the way that the film was made was so subtle with its message.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, it's so interesting and beautiful and fantastic. It went over some people's heads that still get the message at the end of the day.
Yeah.
What I love about Rockwell is that the space is used in such an ingenious way. And sitting in the audience, I've been to so many of their musicals. Number one, the musical changes from night to night because of the audience.
Yeah.
For sure.
They're definitely the last cast member.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. But you feel like your family by the end of the show.
Yeah.
You feel like your family with the cast because they're so literally right there pouring their hearts out. But you feel like your family at the table next because you all enjoy this evening of acting.
Yeah, and by the way, we changed the whole space. So what you know of Rockwell is not what you're going to step into when you come on Sunday.
When I do my cabaret there, they put some booths out and that's all we get.
No, yeah, we
we
essentially
built
it
in the round. So
everything's in the
those four
center.
pillars that you know, there's a whole stage in the middle, so everyone sits around
And
it.
the main VIP booth is on the stage where the band usually is.
That's really cool.
So it's we've completely like Bradley had a whole vision for the space and completely transformed it. It's really magical.
Bradley, when you sat down to direct this, what was your first step in like staging everything out?
I knew I wanted to transform the space, and so that was my first step in like deciding what the piece would look like and feel like. And then just tonally, I wanted it to feel very immersive and very magical and very ethereal and almost dreamlike. And so I think that's what we've mostly established. You know, we snow a lot in this show, and the way we snow, originally I had devised this idea that the snow would come down from the house, Edward's house, which sits above the entire space. But at the end, we decided to bring out actors with a very simple Japanese fan, and they step out and they fan the snow, and it creates this very snow globe effect. And because you're in the round, it really feels like you're inside of a snow globe. And so, you know,
it's really, but that's what's so fun about theater is you take this world of Edward Scissorhands, you're like, how do I create these insane situations? And I think we've really done such a beautiful job of making it both literal and ambiguous enough that we really give people permission to take themselves there, which is really what like the fun of theater is all about. Like, because we've all seen those productions that get too production-y and too like Spider-Man. Everything was so literal. Everything was a comic book cutout. And sometimes I think we need to give our audience permission to be smart.
For example, in the show, it's like everyone refers to Scissorhands as him or her or it or that freak. And we have one moment in the show where Emma says, as Peg, I'm going to find him. And then Kim, the Winona Ryder character, says, you mean her. And then she stops and she says, no, I'm going to go find them. I'm going to go find them. And that's the only moment that we talk about it.
Every single night, too, we've had a moment where someone has either audibly like let out this like, moment, or that someone has come up to me personally and said, I am someone who identifies as them. And that meant so much to me to hear someone acknowledge that.
Wow.
Like, and because it's something that we didn't talk about in the 90s. That wasn't something that was
But
even
that
on anyone's
message is
radar.
still there, like we said.
But it's
this
still
is a
there.
holiday film that should be played on all the 25 days.
That doesn't
of
address that
Christmas.
at all, but is totally, at the end of the day, about that 100% completely.
And once again, you have to take a character that everybody knows, like you did with Alphaba. Of course, Peg was played by Diane Wiest, right?
Oh my God, yes, such a gem.
Yeah.
Who's coming to the show.
Shut your
And Anthony Michael Hall came this past weekend.
This is the first time I have found out that Diane Wiest is coming to the show.
When?
I'm not
Well,
gonna
we
say.
can't say that.
Do you know
But
how much I love
just,
her?
Yeah,
Off
she's-
the record, can you say to him so that he knows? So that there you go. So I hope
You guys,
see how that's
I'm about to-
coast.
Science.
Yeah, you got it.
this is the cool. I say all the time, this is my favorite role I've ever played in a stage production. I mean that, no bullshit. And that it just got so much cooler.
Emma, we have a little behind-the-scenes footage taken, and so we're going to take a little peek at your performance as Peg. In
Ooh. We get to hear
Oh
it.
no.
So
Wow.
that's just another sample. As a holiday gift, fly your family out and see Edward Scissorhands.
Yes.
And it's theater for people that are not used to theater, so even people that don't know that Cats is a musical. Okay, I want to do one last open question, and then we're going to get to rapid fire.
Oh, rapid fire! You're gonna like rapid fire.
scared.
Oh,
You're screwed.
It's real fun. Being in the entertainment industry is so tough on relationships. I know we have married people. Are you married or?
No.
Oh, I thought you guys were married. Oh, push.
No.
Okay.
No. If you're talking about that guy, we broke up.
No.
Yeah.
That's okay. He's got a boyfriend who I'm obsessed with.
Yeah. Just started
He's like-
dating
Oh,
someone
it didn't
else.
take long.
He's like the best boyfriend.
Well, no, we haven't not seen each other in a while. That we broke up right after I was here last time.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh,
was
I thought
because
it was
of the show.
forever.
No.
No, that's okay. I love your boyfriend.
Now
He's
I feel
the best.
bad.
The new
but-
one is amazing.
He's like
The new one.
Like he's like I mean, if there were 10 stars, I'd give this guy 12. Like he's pretty fabulous.
Okay. but so this is great for this conversation. You know, hitting CW, hitting Freeform. I know that you're married, Emma. we're so busy with what we do, and people can't kind of comprehend that. Then when you have new fame, you have to keep in mind, and Bradley, I'm sure you go through this, is like, oh, Bradley's a producer. How do you develop real friendships and real relationships in this industry? Because everybody wants something, and it's so hard to take the time to figure out who wants something, who's there for you, especially when you move from a different state. How do you guys deal with friendships and relationships?
To know yourself really well.
Yeah, but who in entertainment does?
Well,
Be honest.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's it. You won't have genuine friendships or relationships unless you know yourself really well, and then you know why you're friends with these people and what they have to offer you, and whether they have something to offer you that is actually detrimental or helpful to your life. And that's it. It's knowing who you are, and if this person has anything of value to offer you, whether it's emotional or personal or whatever. And then if you notice that they make you a toxic person, that's you knowing yourself and saying like, oh, I don't like who I am anymore. You have to go. That's for me. Personally.
Growing up, there were all these filmmakers, and not that I'm ever comparing myself to these filmmakers, but Spielberg, Woody Allen, Scorsese, who would like constantly hire the same people. And I noticed that not only behind the scenes, but on camera. And I always wondered why that was. Well, now that I am, in this position, I understand that. Because you surround yourself, you find the people that you trust. You find the people that you create a family with. And I think you thrive on working with them. And that's what I found to be the most sort of successful part of this business is you find those people that you can rely on and that you can all lean on each other,
Yeah.
Yeah, from that statement, I mean, for me, it's about like somebody's subjective and ruthless honesty while they have objective ability to have grace. So it's like their ability to go like, I think this, and I'm going to tell you. Good, that's what I want you to do. But then know that you might be wrong too. And that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for someone who's ruthlessly honest and at the same time knows that they don't know everything. That's that keeps me grounded. That's when I know somebody good.
Oh, you've been very quiet, Mr. Michael. All the girls that are listening are like,
tell me how, tell me how.
No, I
get in.
I think that for me, it's I don't know. Yeah. I honestly don't know. I've kind of just been focusing on the show, so I haven't really, like I said earlier, I don't go into the DMs.
Well, no, but you have you got but Michael, you've got a friend that you grew up with, that you still always call up and whatnot. So it's that bond that you're going to be able to extrapolate for the rest of your life. I mean, you're how old are you?
22.
Right. So I've got 18 years on you. So there's like that little thing that you have between you and that old friend, that's going to be extrapolated. So focus on like that thing.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And that's going to be something interesting.
You're on the CW. There's hot girls going to be sending you pictures.
They come and go, though.
The thing about it is,
here's the thing that sucks. You could have a genuine person come into your
the
life.
I'll show you guys something. The thing about it is
I'll show you something.
The people who are in the DMs, they aren't interested in me personally.
Exactly.
They're interested in me as an idea of being Jordan Baker and being somebody who's on the CW. They don't care about Michael Evans Behling. They care about the idea of being around me and chasing that clout.
But how about when you go to parties or you go?
It's the same thing. You don't go to parties. It's all bullshit.
I generally my weekends are spent with Daniel Ezra, who plays Spencer, and he comes over and we watch cartoons and we order a lot of Uber Eats, and that's what we do.
Here's
on
what I have to say.
What's the address?
Here's what I have to say as well. Don't shut off. So many people come to this town and they shut themselves down.
Yeah.
Actually, stay open. It's quite the opposite. You have to stay open. No, it is.
Well,
but
it's staying open and knowing.
It's staying open,
knowing what your boundaries are.
I think it's staying open and still knowing when to say no. Like you're saying, like just being like, okay, there's the line. I'm going to still allow you to fail in front of me, but I'm going to give you the opportunity to fail.
Go to the party. Just don't be the last one to leave.
Oh,
I'm gonna show just Michael this, right? So like getting posts like he gets posts like this, and look at what I wrote. Look at what I wrote. Yeah. Okay, so I got
you make a joke out of it. You make a joke out of it.
Like somebody who's sending me photos, right? Like this, and what I wrote is she's like, oh, horny, blah blah blah, and I wrote in the background of her photo, I wrote, how many DVDs do you have? Because it was in the background.
There's just like a wall of DVDs.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So it's like being cool, but like being like also being like, hey, these are the lines, so stay over there.
But also we have to remember
that was me.
What? It was
I
you?
own a lot of DVDs.
We have to remember we were not that girl, but we were them once too.
Yeah,
exactly.
100%.
Like I mean, I wrote to Michael J. Fox when I was 9 years old.
Yeah, no,
telling
wrote to
him how
Michael
much I loved
Jackson.
him. Yeah,
I mean, I never slid
I
any
couldn't write
DMs.
words though.
So we're no different or better than anyone else.
But there's a difference between like, I love you, I want to have sex with you, and hey, you inspire me. And
Yeah.
it doesn't even matter if it's like a little bit out there. You still respect the little bit out there, but there's like you know the line between the people who are just like hunting.
But I've talked to so many people in our position that are like, oh, I just got this email from someone asking me if they have any advice, and they're annoyed by it. And I'm like, why are you annoyed
By it.
No.
Do you know what I tell all of the
It's
early
incredible
MTV
that someone's reaching
CW
out to
people?
you.
Yeah, totally,
I tell
totally.
them, email your inspirations and say, hey, can we do coffee? Or you inspire me, can you just... And some people will take time out, and it will mean the world because...
I do email people back whenever they ask me about advice and
You
whatnot.
should.
That's
Be
totally
careful
different.
about it, but
It's
our
incredible.
world.
Could you imagine
nothing
if
that
you got
bothers-
that response when you...
Yeah, exactly. I would lose my mind. Yeah.
One
Nothing
time I
bothers me
emailed...
more though than like someone saying like that, like they want advice on how to get into the industry and someone won't help them. I feel like if you have like not only just in the industry or any job that you have in life, if you have this secret to get ahead and to make it easier for other people, why wouldn't you share it? Like helping someone else out doesn't mean you go farther down the ladder.
Yeah,
It
But on the
just
other
helps
side-
someone else make their life a little easier.
Some people want advice, and I'll give people advice. I'm like, you need to do this. I'm like, oh, that's a lot of work.
Well,
I'm
then
like,
that's on them. They can go
Well, see, but some people want to ask you that to
Well,
flirt
there's-
with you,
there's-
so that you're just like, oh, let me introduce you to this producer.
You know people who are authentic when they're asking how they're asking and what they're asking.
Yes,
you
yes,
know,
yes,
you know the people who are like fronting and the people who are just like.
All right, we have to end, or else Kurt is gonna
Damn it, Kurt.
wear a worse outfit. But
you
you
got
know,
German background?
No,
You
I
think
mean,
Scheiße
Behling's a little German.
Okay, yeah.
But and I tell this to all my entertainment people. Just ask. The worst thing you're going to get is a no. I emailed this huge producer. His name was Bredeweg, and then he came on the show. and
Who's
then,
that? I heard he was.
And he brought this girl who wouldn't shut up.
I heard he's a dick.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Excuse me, what did you say?
I know Good Trouble's not going to have a football story.
I'm kidding.
What'd you say about my friend?
I am staying.
No, but you know what's funny?
Over here.
The radio show is now 3.5 years old. We're almost to 180 episodes, and it's because when I first started the show, I didn't know that you shouldn't just email people directly or reach out to them on
I think
Facebook.
you should. I think you
and that
should.
has but that has been a success.
Changed everything.
From day
Hey, you
one.
reached out to me on Facebook, right?
Yeah. Because I was like, yeah.
And I will say I've never had more fun than sitting down with you. And
Oh
I
my
really
God,
mean
Bradley.
that.
So
I'm
fun.
going to clip that and sell that.
I really
Of all
mean that.
1 interviews I have done. I'm just kidding.
You've done a few.
I've done a few,
And I
but this
said-
is my favorite.
Right?
So here.
It's a blast.
This is you told
Put
me
your
you were
nose
like, this
up
is
there.
so much fun.
It's
You have to do it with
batting
me.
detector.
Yeah.
All right, we have to do rapid fire. So we do rapid fire. It's nothing deep and dark. And so you're going to do rapid fire. There are different questions for everybody. And then you're going to give your social media handles. Emma, if you stop blocking people, then they
I
can
don't
follow
block
you.
people. I don't have my social media is not under my real name. So you might not have my actual.
No, I did some research. I do know, but I'm not going to say.
But you know that my I'm
Yes?
not going to say what the name is, but it
No,
is
I
a
do
Kim
know.
Cattrall reference.
I am not saying anything. Do you see how?
P.S. How good am I at research? I'm like, I called your manager at the Aquatic Center, by the way.
Did you really?
No, I didn't.
No. Oh my god.
But I knew you worked there.
Did you find her through my page?
No.
No.
Oh, then I don't think you
How did-
found me, boo boo. It's nothing's under
Oh,
my
yes.
name.
real? It's a
Found her
fan?
You
Facebook?
did,
Yeah.
yes.
Because the profile picture is very smoky and there's like a candle.
Yeah.
And the hair is like
But I
here.
tag her a lot.
Yeah.
So that, yeah.
I don't have a candle in my profile picture.
Yeah, you do.
In which
In
one?
my Facebook?
Your
No, I'm
Facebook?
leaning out
Because
of
the
a
actual
car.
leaning out of the
name,
car.
I'm leaning out of a
the
car with
actual
my hair
name
going
is
crazy in the wind.
something. Okay. Who wants to go first for rapid fire so Kurt can go home and be
What are
with
the
us?
questions?
No, I don't give them to I give them to you like
All
right
right.
into
Oh, yeah.
it.
I'm shooting the rookie on Friday.
With Nathan Fillion, he has to
Yeah.
drop this.
Hey, that's Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
I had an audition for the rookie and I did not book it.
You know why? Because you were too much for Nathan.
You know, that's funny. That's the role I got.
I figured.
I was very lucky. Thank
It was
you.
for sassy radio show host.
I can do sassy radio host. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Alexander Rodriguez.
Wow, that's really good.
It was something.
I love how the straight people banded together and
Sorry, we were offended. We were offended. Yeah.
Bradley's
Hola,
next
¿cómo estás? Sorry.
Oh,
is that a Latino thing? 'Cause
So
I don't speak
offended.
Spanish.
I'm just a disabled guy. Don't mind me.
Oh my God, you guys. We just got so PC. Rockwell's going to do the next music. Thank you. Rockwell presents On the Rocks parody musical. With Ross Matthews as Alexander. Keep trying, Ross.
He's there a lot.
He's trying to catch
There's
up.
a cardboard cutout of him in the dressing room. I have to say, it's the most
No,
terrifying
that's actually
thing.
him. That's his personality.
You're not wrong.
No, I'm not. Oh my God, no.
I'm pleading.
Do you know that I'm getting all of his gigs, by the way?
What's great is you can stop, like you can delete
Okay,
it
we have
from
to
my
finish.
statements. Oh, finish.
Oh my God.
Kurt,
But I love
make him
you,
finish.
RuPaul.
We have like 13
How do you
minutes.
deal with this guy?
No, it's my fault. I've kept us going.
How much
very
time do we
long.
have?
Kurt's wife has put in the DiGiorno. It's not
DiGiorno.
delivery.
It's DiGiorno.
Are they
I
sponsoring
don't know.
this?
Jeez, you're so not Italian.
No.
This show is dangerous.
Okay, you guys.
Drink and you say
Yes, I
shit.
do.
Okay, let's see how long we can keep this going.
Did you guys? You guys nobody.
We're in trouble.
Oh Lord!
Please.
Oh
I'll get
my
another
gosh.
gig from it. Palm Springs Pride. Hello. back
Hello.
again. Okay, who wants to go first? Michael is terrified.
Michael's
by the
going
way.
first.
Go around. Start here.
Okay,
Michael,
start with me.
I can guarantee this is going to be the most
You can
different
start with
interview
me.
you're going to have in your whole
Oh,
career.
rats. Okay.
Yeah.
Just all you got to do is answer as fast as you can, but really
No
without
wonder he
answering
brought
as
with
fast
thinking,
as all.
with or without thinking.
Think.
Yeah,
See why
yeah.
we did this
Yeah,
again?
I'll answer first. I don't care. It doesn't matter.
Michael, the craziest fan comment or request you've received?
Can you send me a picture of your feet? Something like that.
Oh,
How
yeah.
about foot? Do you ever get foot? Because that's all I
Do
get.
I have?
Oh my God.
Yeah, I do.
Wow.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good.
That was good.
Okay.
Amazing.
He had to pull down his beanie. He knew that.
Yeah. And I'm done.
And I've been
Yes.
a-
Who wants? I don't understand feet people. By the way.
Okay, do you know
I'm
why?
like, wear your socks in
No,
bed because I don't need to see that.
Feet make sense because genitalia and feet are actually mapped in the brain right next to each
Yeah,
other.
but
so
it's
there's
not
overlap.
true.
How do you
no,
know
it's
that?
totally true.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't know.
Is
I've
that
dated
really
a-
true?
It's really true. Yeah.
I've dated a
It's
size 14. It's not
neuropsychology.
true. Okay,
Huh.
rapid fire.
Yeah, it's yeah.
A day, like a 12-hour day of shooting. What is your ritual when you walk in the door? What is your ritual?
When I get home,
Yep.
shower, go to sleep.
No, but like, what do you like?
I'm sorry, I'm a boring person. I mean,
Do you listen to music? Do you,
I shower.
like, have
shower and
I
go to
go over
sleep?
my scenes for the next day, and I go to sleep.
Go to sleep.
Watch
He's
Netflix.
a machine.
Go to sleep.
He's working.
Your manager's sweating right now. He's like, "Come on, give me a better answer."
I'm so sorry.
There's no better answer.
No,
like
no,
because
if-
you're
if
thinking
that's what
about
you
the
do.
next day.
Yeah.
Okay. How about this? How about this? Friday night when you're not shooting a Friday.
All right, bet. Okay, coming home. Daniel's coming over. We're ordering a whole bunch of Uber Eats. We're watching Big Mouth
There you go.
Oh,
There you go.
Word.
on
Well,
Netflix.
I need to be there. Okay. Can you imagine Daniel would be like, that's all he would do. Michael, the biggest shock or craziest thing you experienced coming to LA from Indiana that you were like, they do this here?
Ooh.
I mean,
Driving.
the driving is terrible here.
Traffic.
What are you, 85 years old?
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. This is probably terrible.
No!
for PR.
It's so cute. It's
Chelsea's
so
at
cute
home
that
losing
you're-
her mind.
Everything's
actually so
brown
cute that
here as
you're
opposed to
so-
Ohio's green.
It doesn't feel like Christmas. I don't know.
There you go. It doesn't
It
feel
feels
like
like
Really, Rodeo Drive had Santa the day after Halloween.
But there's no
Just
snow.
go
There's no
to the
cold.
Grove. It snows.
really.
Snow.
Snows?
That's not so. It's cocaine.
I'm
so sorry. I'm killing your vibe right now. I'm so
no,
sorry.
No. It's so
you're
cute
good,
to
you're
know
good.
that you're like, this is who you are. Okay. Type of role you really want to play.
Heroin addict.
A really mentally deranged person.
Mentally deranged. So you want to
schizophrenic.
So you need to be on a CBS All Access.
So you're
show.
just saying you're basically a
Yeah.
fully complicated person who's got different like goals against themselves.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think that would be.
I think you're
dope
very
character.
reserved until you're acting in your role, and then you just let it all out. Because
Yeah.
I've seen your anger moments on All American. Worst audition you ever had?
I laughed like I knew. I don't know.
There's a true one. I can see it.
It was for ice and toners.
No, it was
gloves.
No. The gloves is a OJ. It was probably my very first audition ever. Oh no, that was bad. My
I
very
didn't even
first
do that.
audition
That
ever.
wasn't me.
was for Chicago Fire. Oh my God!
They film.
They film in Chicago. They film in Chicago. Yeah, it was up in Chicago. It was before. It was my very first audition ever. So I filmed this in my kitchen. Behind me was like a painting, so it wasn't even a barren wall. And it was just the worst reactions I could ever imagine. I still have it on my computer
have
at
it?
home.
Oh.
At
You
home.
should upload that.
At home. I probably will never upload. It was just like
We got to make a show about that.
it was just terrible. I can't even try
11
to reenact
auditions
it.
later, he books.
11
Sorry.
auditions later.
Sorry.
Well, that was very awesome.
Terrible. I'm sorry.
Tell our listeners and
great.
viewers where they can find you.
You can find me on Snapchat and Instagram at MichaelBO5 and on Twitter at Michael Behling with an E at the end.
Michael Behling with an E.
I want him to just do the audio from my biography.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back.
Oh, hello.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah,
how are
yeah.
you?
Thank you, Michael, so
Thank
much.
you.
I hope we didn't scare you too much.
No, this was Fantasia. It was Fantasia.
Fantasia Barano's here? What?
I love
Okay.
her.
This was Cats.
Who wants to go next?
This is Cats.
You guys are going to watch the movie and probably cry.
Let's go to Broadway.
Let's
and
go
watch
to Broadway and watch
Cats and go like, and we'll be sitting there, literally going like, the fuck.
Did you hear what Kurt said?
Next year in New York.
Oh, you guys, poor Kurt has to go home. Did you hear what Kurt said, though? He's
Sorry,
like,
Kurt.
we have to go to Broadway once.
I said watch Cats.
I've never been.
And Michael and I will be both like, it's
Oh, I love that show. It's on the Broadway.
on the Broadway. I'm gonna go.
It's on the Broadway.
I'm gonna go
There's
see
only
them
one?
kitty cats go on stage and dance around and shit.
There's only
Burn
one on the
shit.
Broadway,
You guys
and
are
they're
gonna
all
hurt.
on that
Are we really
road.
out of time?
No, yes, we're really running time. But here's the joke. Their
Yeah.
girlfriends will make them go see it.
Yeah.
No.
Yep.
There you
Okay.
go.
Maybe.
Who's next?
Kurt.
Kurt.
Okay, name, because you were in Sons of Anarchy and
Yeah.
you ride a motorcycle and you save lives in Puerto Rico, what would the name of your motorcycle gang be?
Left out. What? You don't like that?
Not really.
I've answered so many of your questions that you don't
That
like.
was
You
so
hate every
PC.
answer. You
He
hate
really
every
does.
Really
answer.
show you guys.
How is that PC?
Judge Judy.
Okay,
Wait a minute. That's not even a joke. So she films on the other side of the lot. I cannot go to sleep without watching one episode of Golden Girls and Judge Judy.
No.
No shit.
Do you know
Oh,
her
I owe
personally?
myself $10.
drink,
I owe
drink,
myself
drink.
$10
You said
if
shit.
I had
Drink.
$1.
Is that really?
I'd have 10.
No one left out.
What's wrong with left out?
No, I think
No,
that's
not no one left out. Left out.
That would be admirable.
No
But
one left out. We're a tough gang of 99%ers.
Okay. Celeb you'd have a gay kiss with on screen that you'd be okay with.
Ewan McGregor.
This actually.
Yes.
Oh.
Oh, I love that.
From Mulan.
From Mulan. Yeah.
He's
Mulan.
great.
Yeah,
He's
just
great in
Mulan,
that.
no.
Like I'd be like, all right, and he rides motorcycles, so we could like totally like do like adventure motorcycle riding and then spend
I'm
time
just
in
talking
a
about on
tent.
screen. I thought you were going to say.
Okay, I haven't thought about this very much, but okay.
I thought you were going to say. Yeah,
It's like,
that
but then
seems
we'd
that's
take
a
a
little quick.
romantic motorcycle ride down Mulholland Drive.
Yeah.
We got to the top, we would make out.
Like we could ride
10.5
motorcycles like bros
seconds.
and then spend all night together in a tent.
You guys, Kurt is literally shutting the door on us right now. That's
He
great.
hates
I
us.
thought it would be with a Latino that might have a few pounds, but your dream co-star
Co-star in a television show?
in a film.
Oh, in a film.
Don't say Tom Hanks or Meryl Streep. You'll get kicked out right now.
Daniel Day.
Ew.
Would you?
He's retired.
It doesn't matter. I'll go
But no-
like make shoes
he's not
with
even
him
interested
he's a
in
cobbler.
anything.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, like, I think that he's just like for
Oh.
like pound for pound, like even though he's done what
It does
9
sound like I hate every
roles?
answer, but I really
It really
don't.
does.
Yeah,
Yeah,
really.
but I'm usually
Yeah.
really pro rapid fire. Okay.
He's just the actor that has embodied every role he's played, and
This
I
is
believe
true.
him.
This is true.
Whether he's easy to work with or not, I don't know.
He was
but
good
he
in,
is powerful.
I feel about
Okay.
Toni
He's
Collette.
powerful.
Classic film you'd go back in time and be the star of.
If I could, which I don't think I could, Lawrence of Arabia.
Oh.
Peter O'Toole's fucking brilliant. in
Love
that.
Peter O'Toole.
Yeah.
Was that positive enough?
Yeah, that's
It
pretty good.
was.
That's
Proud of
pretty
you.
Biggest pet
Proud of
peeve
you.
you have while on set that you hate this, whether it's from the crew, whether it's from the director. Biggest pet peeve that just sets you off as an actor.
Bad behavior.
What does that mean?
Bad behavior is like when you say something and someone says, "No, we can't do it that way," and it's like, and it keeps going. Like, look, I think
This
that
whole radio show?
no. Like, I think that like being a good actor is a foregone conclusion. I think you have to be a good person on set so that when you're not there, everyone's like, "Why is today not good?"
Yes.
And so, like, I think that when you see people being pithy and whatnot about their little universe, not recognizing that there's 70 other people specifically right here working right now, and then a grip of people behind all of that on top of it. And I think that's where it's just a ubiquitous myopic behavior.
I love that, Kurt. Kurt, tell our viewers and listeners where they can find you.
You can find me anywhere.
You can find me on a railway.
Kurt, K-U-R-T, Yaeger, Y-A-E-G-E-R.
Don't look at me that way.
You don't like that look?
No, I do. Okay, go on.
No, just Kurt Yaeger at all of my places. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook.
And you guys watch Tell Me a Story because it's so good.
And there's more to come too.
Yeah. I saw
in that show and some other shows.
Yeah.
There's good stuff coming.
And you know, Kurt, we get each other.
I know. You're a good guy.
We're bros from a different mouth. Okay, who's next?
I'll go. Let's do it.
Emma. What musical theater audition song sends you screaming out of the room if you have to hear it one more time?
Look, husband knows.
Yeah.
Husband knows.
I don't know how he knows because I don't really know. I mean, it would probably be like Defying Gravity or Wizard and I. Like it's so long. At this point, it shouldn't be in your audition book, kids.
Yep.
It shouldn't be in your audition book unless you're auditioning for the show and they sent it to you. Take it out of the book.
Can I ask a follow-up?
You knew
then?
the camera.
So
too.
what?
You looked right at that camera.
What's
Proud of
like?
you.
What's too old and what's too new to not be recognized? What's a good
I would
medium?
say, first of all, if you've been in the show, don't bring it into an audition room. It's just tacky and taboo. And if it's, I would say anywhere like between like 5 to 7 years. If it's been, I just think, because here's the thing, if it's a role that you think you could play, whether you can or not, every other girl who looks and sounds like you thinks that and has already brought it in. You never want to bring in a song. I always try and pick a song that no one will ever sing. I sing Creep by Radiohead. It sounds theater, but it's belty and it's a pop song and no one else in that room is going to sing it.
And they can look at your resume to see that you have done these roles so they know that you could have already done that. So, Kurt, I'm going to pay you extra money for today, but I have to say something to that. So I was at a banquet with Stephen Schwartz, and there was this great woman next to me, and I told her my ideas about Wicked and that it's sung at all the time. She says people have lost the emotion with Wicked. I said, well, people don't realize that Wicked is about 2 young girls during puberty, during their young school years. Mm-hmm. It's cast always so old by consummate singers. It's a young girl's experience. I was talking to Winnie, who wrote
My So-Called Life and the book for Wicked.
Yeah. So I felt like an idiot because I didn't know. I was telling her that.
Oh, you bless your heart.
I felt so
sorry
stupid.
for you. But you're right, though. That is what it is.
Stupid
And I know that for the movie, they were for a while. They were talking about casting for the first act, younger actresses and older actresses for the second act because it is about girls going. I don't think that would work, but
yeah, but
they were talking about that.
Bring
for a
it
minute.
back to the young girls with Wizard.
about young
There's
girls.
this excitement, and that's what I love about All American. It's a cast of people that we haven't seen yet, and that's what I love. There's this new energy. Anyway, sorry, Kurt.
Kurt's gonna kill us.
Oh my God,
Sorry,
he's
Kurt. Sorry,
so.
Kurt.
Who would you cast besides yourself in the Wicked film?
Ooh, you know what? I always said I thought that Demi Lovato would make an excellent Elphaba. The way that she could, I think she could actually be a pop star that's well known that could sing it. Which to be quite honest, besides like Ariana Grande, I don't think, and I think Ariana would actually be a really great Glinda. I think she could sing the shit out of Elphaba, but no one gives that girl credit for her comedy chops, and she's really fucking funny. But
Cheers.
But
Drinking.
Reds.
Cheers. But I think we should really. My problem with musical theater movies is just fucking cast a musical theater actor.
Cheers.
Cast a musical theater actor.
Can you say?
Here's the thing. It's Wicked. Everyone knows it. It's not going to not be a blockbuster. You don't need a famous woman to sell a ticket to Wicked. Cast a bitch who can sing it, and I guarantee you will change her life.
There's no movie stars anymore.
There's no movie stars anymore. But like, look at Maddie Ballio, who was the girl in Hairspray Live. She was in Dumplin', and to me, she stole that entire movie.
Yeah.
I think she was magical in that movie, and she is a theater actress, but there's a negative connotation of theater actors being too big for television. That's a whole other podcast for a whole other day.
I love this rapid fire. It's like another podcast. Backstage or on-set must-haves that you just have to have.
Tea, steamer, essential oils, and CBD lotion for my cramps.
And Taco Bell.
Taco Bell. Every time Bradley texts me and says, "When are you coming to San Diego?" I say,
Wait,
"Hold
what-
on, I'm
what-
into the drive-thru for
What
Taco
from
Bell."
what from Taco Bell?
Okay, I get a bean and cheese burrito, no onions, no sauce. A
Gotcha.
chicken and cheese quesadilla. I get a double-decker taco with no lettuce. I get a Crunchwrap Supreme with no lettuce,
Your
no
husband
tomato.
is a chef.
I know.
Cheesy gordita crunch. Cheesy
Wait,
No,
wait.
cheesy
you go
gordita
mild
crunch.
sauce,
You
hot
guys
sauce, or
stop.
fire?
This is
Diablo.
rapid fire.
Diablo.
Oh, spicy.
Anywho.
Emma. I'm sorry, I can't survive from that awful Taco Bell shout out. Most overrated musical. Rapid fire.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that was good.
There's, you know what? A lot of them came into my head. Most overrated musical, I would say, is Cats.
Yeah.
I would literally say that too.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I would literally say that too.
Say Cats.
One male Broadway role you would love to play.
Male Broadway role I would love to play would be, I would love to be like Elder Cunningham in Book of Mormon. I think it'd be really good.
You know who I
at
would
that.
love to hear you play is Billy Bigelow, by the way. Not as a comedy because it's very dramatic.
It was so awesome. She literally threw off her headphones.
Literally.
Thank
They
you very
came
much.
off.
That was
Yeah.
a huge compliment.
Emma, please tell
That
our
was great.
viewers and our listeners all the social media handles so that you can. Oh, you're sorry.
Have one more for us.
It's Emma Hunton, and that's Emma Hunton. Wink.
Wink.
Wing.
That's an emoji, by the way.
There's
guys-
no emoji in my
Here.
name.
You're never going to hear another radio show like this.
Here you go. Right
Bradley.
there. Putting the
I
top
feel like
on.
I'm too
Putting-
drunk for rapid
Kurt
fire.
hates me.
No.
Yeah.
You're not.
No one is too trills for have a vampire.
Poor Michael's like, can't wait to get back
I
to
know.
the gym. Or have a donut tonight.
Donut.
I'm probably gonna have Taco
Me and
Bell.
Daniel's gonna watch
Yeah.
movie tonight. Me and Daniel's gonna watch
Yeah,
movie.
he is gonna
Yeah,
roll
he's
through
gonna-
tonight.
he's
You
gonna
are
roll
so
through it.
right. You are so right.
Michael's going to have a donut tonight with a knife and fork, and he's going to have half left over. Oh, I simply couldn't finish this.
Leftover.
Hold on, let me go to the gym for 1 hour so I can eat the other half of this
Yeah.
donut.
Tay might be coming over for egg whites in the morning.
Oh my god. Jesus.
Okay, Bradley.
Yes.
What would the name of the musical based on your life be?
Ooh.
Oh God.
Musical based on your life.
Up to this point.
Gay boy obsessed with Back to the Future.
Yes.
No investor would
good movie.
invest in that.
I know,
title, by
but
the
that's
way.
true.
It's a good
I was
movie.
so obsessed with that movie when I was a kid.
How about Back to the Gay?
Back to the
Gay
Gay.
and
Back to the
Slay.
Gay.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Musical. You would want to direct the film version of.
Oh God. It's already happened.
Tell me.
Into the Woods.
Yeah. that was
Yeah.
pretty
And I
bad.
would kill it. I really would.
You know what, though? The
They
great
missed
thing about
every mark.
Hollywood is give it 5
10
more
years.
years.
Yeah,
and you
exactly.
can
It's
do
coming
it.
back
You
around.
can do the new one.
Yeah.
Bradley, since you are creating such great viewing experiences, what is your guilty viewing pleasure in terms of TV?
Oh God.
That if people knew, they'd be like, oh.
Oh my God. Vanderpump Rules. I cannot get enough of it. But this season's really bad, by the way.
So
Have you-
It's really bad.
It's
It
bad.
is so bad. So we've had their cast on the show.
Really?
How?
So up until this
I
point,
lost brain cells just having
I
them
know. Jeez. Yeah. Obsessed.
there. Bradley,
They're not
what?
listening.
Right?
They can't listen to actual things. Bradley, what character do you most identify with in Moulin Rouge?
Ooh.
Not that you would play, but
The
that
movie.
you most identify with.
The movie or?
Let's do the movie.
Let's
so.
do the movie.
The
okay.
movie?
Yeah.
Oh.
Who's the one that falls asleep all the time? That's who I am.
The narcoleptic. The narcoleptic. Yeah. Yeah.
Are you?
That's the little Latino guy, right?
It's the big Latino guy.
No, he's a little.
Well, I will say I
Oh, the
always have
big
this.
guy.
Roxanne.
They're all
Right.
little to me.
You guys, Kurt has to go home.
I know.
Oh my
Sorry,
God.
Kurt. I always have this weird cough, and I can't get rid of it. So Satine.
You're
like
Satine.
I'm always wondering where this cough is coming from.
Michael doesn't know. Did you ever see Moulin Rouge?
Oh, Michael.
Moulin Rouge is like
Yeah.
it's definitely dancing and singing, but it's still enough
Is Nicole
accessible.
Kidman?
It's the
I
LA
think
we
it-
have fire
Okay.
smoke
But
cough.
you can-
You know.
yeah.
I hope your actress says Satine is better than Nicole's.
Oh.
I'm dying.
Yeah. Well.
Well,
I'm
Diamonds
Levo
are
is a
a
Broadway
girl's.
gem, so.
Yes. I cannot wait.
So you
Can
don't
we
need
see
to
Moulin
speak
Rouge in
about
New
it.
York together?
Yeah.
We'd
If
be
I
so
can
disruptive.
If I can have vodka black cherry
Yes.
sodas all night, I'm there.
All cherry sodas matter. I'm going to be Toulouse up in the in the rafters.
Great.
Bradley.
Yes.
Where can our viewers and listeners find you?
At Bradley Bredeweg on both Instagram and Twitter.
And you guys follow him. It's such a journey in terms of filmmaking and just greatness. Now, where can we buy tickets if we're in Southern California for Edward Scissorhands?
Go to rockwell-la.com for tickets. Or
also-
we're on Gold Star
or
as well.
Gold Star.
Goldstar.com.
Can we invite Michael and his lady friend?
Yeah.
I don't have a lady friend.
We should all do a night.
You heard it here first.
Not yet.
Every girl is going to email like,
Hi, Michael is available tonight for your lady friend texts.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to go in your reel.
No, it's really going to be. It's going to be really
All
good.
right, you guys, we have to wrap up so Kurt can
Sorry,
go home.
Kurt. We love you.
But also,
He's
Good
like,
Trouble,
I hate
January
you.
8th on Freeform and Hulu.
Yes. Watch us. Love us.
You guys. On the Rocks is taking a break. Obviously, it's Christmas and New Year's. When we come back January 8th, we're here with Tracy Toms, and it's the same night, so we can.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, we're totally
Tell
gonna
her
do
I
it.
say hi. I
Yes.
love Tracy Toms so much.
What if we did a Skype
Oh,
karaoke?
You should.
Karaoke?
I could totally do a little Skype-in session with you guys that night.
Yeah.
We have our premiere then.
We have our premiere that night, depending on... We'll figure it
We
out.
could pre-film it, but what if Maureen sang with Joanne?
Oh my God, I would kill you, but I'll do it.
Okay, let's do it. All right, you guys, thank you so much. Kurt, thank you so much.
Thank
Happy
you,
holidays
Kurt.
to
Thanks,
you and your
Kurt.
wife.
Thanks, Kurt.
Thank you,
Kurt, I'm going to
Kurt.
slip you a little bit under the tree.
You get the rest of the Smirnoff.
And by a little bit,
Here you go. You can
It's
have
not
the
a
rest
drink,
of
Kurt.
this
It's not a
mirror.
drink.
Like Emma
Backwash.
says, you can
Thank you
have
to
the
Mama Rose.
backwash.
You guys, we're going to be off for the holidays, but I do have to thank our listeners and followers. We would not be here without you, and we've been here for 3.5 years with On the Rocks. Very special feeling. You guys are my family. Happy New Year. We'll see you when the sun comes up.
Woo!
Bye.
This has been On the Rocks with Alexander, every Tuesday at 7 p.m. on Universal Broadcasting Network. Find me on Facebook on The Rocks Radio Show. Tweet me or Instagram me at On the Rocks On Air. See you next Tuesday.